Hi everybody, welcome to Unscripted Access, episode number 99. You're here with your host, Nick McCandless. On this week's show, we got Bronson Fiore.
Fuck GameStop. We got shit to talk about.
Anthony Ta.
Hello.
And John Macaluso.
Going on, everyone?
Alright, so we are out with episode 99. It's so crazy. I remember as a staff, and I mean, Bronson and Anthony were with the staff when we were doing this, and they've been around since the beginning. And I remember we wanted to do this podcast, but we could not come up with a name for it. We kept arguing. We couldn't come up with a name. And to think that was 99 episodes ago, there's 52 weeks in the year, but there's some weeks that we miss, which means that we've been doing this show for over 2 years now. Time just flies. It feels like a year, not 2 years. But we're here with another great show for you guys. The Last of Us Remastered is now out on the PlayStation 4. I know myself, I've been playing it, John's been playing it, and Bronson just got his hands on it. So what are you guys' initial reactions? I know for me, Last of Us is amazing. Definitely the best. It's definitely the best looking game of previous generation. It just looked so unbelievable. The gameplay was awesome. The story was awesome. The online was actually pretty good. The game was overall, I mean, for a lot of people, it was the game of the previous generation. It is for me. It's my favorite game to come out between Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. The game was it's hard to find any issues with that game. It is so perfect, so good. The guys at Naughty Dog are just so talented, and to see what they pulled off The Last of Us was just unbelievable. So now we have the remastered edition, and what do you know? It's The Last of Us, but it looks better, it runs smoother. It includes what's the DLC? What is it called?
Left Behind.
Left Behind. It includes the Left Behind DLC. So versus the PlayStation 3 version, as you guys probably know, the PlayStation 3 version was running 720p, 30 frames per second, and Naughty Dog had said how difficult that was. And it's easy to imagine that because you look at the PlayStation 3 and you look at The Last of Us, it's just so far ahead of all these other games on the platform. The game looked unbelievable. And now on the PlayStation 4, it's 1080p and 60 frames per second. Now, Naughty Dog provides the option just for people who want, more cinematic feel. You can decide to go back with 30 frames per second if you want to. I don't see why you'd want to, though, because I've been playing the game in 60 frames per second, and it's unbelievably so smooth, so nice. Oh, man, it's so good. It improves shooting so much.
So The Last of Us was our game of the year last year. The only game that really wasn't... There were two other games in the running. It was GTA 5 and a next-gen game, Mario 3D World. And quite honestly, it pretty much came down to Last of Us versus Mario. And Last of Us is a fantastic game, and I've only been playing the multiplayer, because I installed it during our weekly meeting, and I'm playing it during this podcast. And the main points where it looks better are the textures look better, the frame rate's a lot better, and from what I've seen so far, there's a little more detail and everything, and a better draw distance. I can tell you right now from just playing the multiplayer is drastically improved because of that better frame rate. And I'm actually... One thing that Next Generation kind of has, and gaming on PC with a higher-end computer now, that I can say, is I'm starting to feel if you are going to make a third-person or first-person shooter with an online multiplayer, it has to be 60 frames, or I don't want to play it unless your name is Halo. And even that is getting the 60 frames treatment. So... to me, it's getting to the point where, it's unacceptable for, games to not be 60 frames.
Yes, that's my thing. I can understand if a game maybe doesn't quite make... here's my thing. I honestly think there shouldn't be any excuses for 1080... Every game, 1080p, 60 frames per second, absolutely no excuses. I can kind of and am willing to accept a slightly lower resolution in exchange for 60 frames per second, but I agree. I mean, we look at games like, now there are some exceptions, like Drive Club, for example. Drive Club is not going to be 60 frames per second. The game still runs really well, though. So obviously there's exceptions, and they had talked about how...
I'm just talking shooters.
Yeah, shooters, absolutely. Any type of
shooters, it kind of makes sense because it's a very reactionary kind of thing. Like, you need good reactions, and you need to be able to see everything very quickly. And 60 frames kind of helps with that.
I mean, one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to with Halo 2 Anniversary, and John and I are going to be whooping ass in tournaments in that game, by the way, is the fact that it is going to be 60 frames. Like, the first one was 30, and that was fine for back in the day on the OG Xbox. But now, I have trouble playing multiplayer games that are shooters at 30. And it's slowly becoming that with fighting games, too. Like, I do not want to play fighting games or shooters that are sub 60. And I realize that this is going to go away as the generation goes on, because they're going to want to push more effects, push more everything, and like, okay, well, 30 is good enough. So that's going to... And this goes back to my thing before this generation started, where I was like, last generation, PS3, 360, when that was going on, I said, you know what, I would be fine if next gen things didn't look that much better, if everything was at 60 frames. And apparently I'm getting my wish, because, like, outside of a couple of titles, no game has made me just, like, made me flip out over visuals, really, outside of, like, maybe Infamous. But, like, every game has been running at 60 frames. And I feel as though that level of performance is significantly more important than...
Yeah, the games that really, this generation that have really stood out to me are Ground Zeroes. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes looks unbelievable. Infamous Second Son, Killzone Shadowfall. And I brought this up because here's the thing, like, The Last of Us, it's remastered, and we've seen a lot of this. We've seen it with Tomb Raider, and there's been a couple other games, I believe, that...
we've been seeing, at the launch of these consoles, we saw it with Assassin's Creed and Battlefield,
right. Those weren't, I mean, I guess you could technically call those remastered, but those weren't, like, games... At least those came out around the same time. Like, these are games that have came out, like, over a year ago, and they're re-releasing.
Last of Us is a little older than a year, like, just barely.
Yeah.
And Tomb Raider wasn't even a year old when the remastered came out. So,
yeah, I know that game was remastered, but honestly, I think that Tomb Raider Definitive Edition is one of the best looking games on this generation of consoles. It looks so good. Like, so good.
Here's my thing, and it's that art almost always trumps, like, technical horsepower. Like, recently I just started getting back into Transistor, which is slowly what become one of my favorite games of the year. And my favorite game of the year is still Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. And neither of those games are technical masterpieces. Like, Donkey Kong is technically proficient, runs at 1080p, 60 frames, and looks really good, but it's not like, Infamous, where it's pushing all these tech boundaries. It's the thing that I really think art always trumps horsepower. Like, a perfect example of this is, we've been Let's playing Okami. That looks like a brand new game, but it's really 8 years old, and it's just been up-resed. Wind Waker was another case where, okay, we updated the lighting, and we up-resed it, here it is. Art is where it'll, like, over time, a game will age well or not.
Right.
Which is why, like, everyone talks about, like, horsepower, da-da-da-da-da, and I'm like, just give me really good art with 60 frames. I actually just finished the 4th episode of Season 2 of The Walking Dead and The Wolf of Wall Street. 2 amazing games, you should go play them.
The Wolf Among Us.
It's so
Yeah, I
good.
was about to
Sorry,
say,
Wolf
dude. I
Among
was like,
Us.
that's a good movie. I don't know.
Sorry, Wolf Among Us. Sorry, Wolf of Wall Street was a good movie though.
That movie was good.
It was very artsy.
Yeah, in
If you mean
various
artsy
ways.
by the number of times he can creatively use the F-bomb, sure.
More F-bombs than any other movie.
Dear goodness.
I love that movie. It's a great movie.
That movie is great.
Oh god, I had a job like that once. It was weird. But anyway, back to what I was saying was god damn it. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. That's what I was saying is like art is always gonna be the thing that will make a game age well. And I look at a game like The Wolf Among Us on my PC, and it's not super technically proficient, but it looks fantastic. And it's running at 60 frames. There's no hitch-ups. There's no problems with it. And I'm like, I'm okay with this. And that's why when I look at The Last of Us Remastered, I'm like, okay, it looks better. You guys did textures, but this 60 frames thing is huge. Which is exactly why when Tomb Raider got thrown over on the Xbox One and it wasn't 60 frames, I was like, okay, that's not going to ruin your experience. And if you only have an Xbox One, or the Xbox One was your next gen console of choice, and that's the only way you're going to play that game, absolutely you should do it because that game was great. But I also think that if you have the choice, though, you should definitely be playing the PS4 or PC versions.
Absolutely, but yeah, it's see, I'm more of the opposite of that. Like the artsy games, yeah, I like seeing nice art every now and then, but I'm more of like raw horsepower. Like obviously, I need the games to actually take advantage of it, but for me, it's like the more like technically like impressive games. That's what usually gets me. And that's why, I mean, overall, people know, I have an Xbox One, I have a PlayStation 4, but I prefer the PlayStation 4, and I'm going to get all of my multi-platform games on the PlayStation 4. Xbox One's just for exclusives, but my whole thing is that I like the fact that it was just like last generation, the PlayStation 3 was more powerful than Xbox 360, the PlayStation 4 is more powerful than the Xbox One. I like seeing that because I am one of those guys that, I'm not just about graphics, but I do like to see like super, super impressive graphics that just wow me. Like the first time I played Killzone Shadowfall, I was like, wow, this game looks so freaking good. Destiny, for example, Destiny looks so good. Now, Destiny's one of those
Destiny
perfect
is a case
matches.
Of art.
Yeah, Destiny's one of those things where it's really impressive technically, plus it has a really good art style. See, I think Destiny is like a perfect mix of the two.
I don't even think Destiny's tech is that super impressive. Like the texture is kind of like there's definitely you can tell that couldn't be done on a previous system, but the tech didn't wow me as much as say Infamous, where you see these real-time reflections in water and like different rain puddles reacting in different ways. Like,
yeah, that's true.
The art of that was so good.
Yeah, that's one of those things where the art of Destiny, I guess, kind of like usually I'm more looking for, like a game like Transistor, for example. Like the game looks good, but
game is so
that doesn't win me over. But like Destiny, for example, that game is just so gorgeous. I love that. Oh, well, yeah,
God, that's
September 9th.
I mean, it goes back to this. Like every year, like people flip their shit for like the newest tech in like Battlefield, right? And I don't get it because I'm like, okay, but like in 2 years, you're gonna be like, wow, that looks like shit because the new one's out. Versus, you look at Destiny and you're gonna be like, oh, Destiny still looks really good. And same thing with like I go back and I play the original Halo, and you can tell a lot of shit about the OG Halo is really dated. But I can still play it and enjoy it because the art is so good. I try and go back to Battlefield 1943, and it's just hard. Or 1942. 43 was the weird PSN sequel. And our friend Theo, who has been on the Gamecast a couple times, and he was in our 2013 E3 content. he's a very big proponent of tech, which that's fine. Like whatever, But those games typically don't age as well, and there's a point where like we are creating fake things, and you can only make a fake thing look so real. So like and yeah, there's a good middle ground, and Destiny does hit that, but I go and I look at like games like Halo 2 that have this definitive art style that I can still look at and enjoy, versus something along the lines of, like I said, those older Battlefields. It's it's a little harder to enjoy those.
Yeah, one of the games that really does sell me on art, though, and I absolutely love, is Borderlands.
Oh, yeah, Borderlands.
I love the art of Borderlands. It's so good.
This also goes back to the whole PC Master Race joke. Is like, what I find funny is like there are so many hardcore console gamers I know who like argue over, Xbox One has better graphics, PS4 has better graphics, and I'm like, if that is your primary thing you care about, you are both in the very wrong place.
Let me clarify that, because here's my thing. So at the end of the previous generation, I started transitioning over to PC. I got Assassin's Creed on PC. I got Borderlands 2 on PC, just because the games looked so much better, ran so much better. But right now, yeah, some of the games might look just a tad bit better on PC if you were able to max it out. But for the most part, games are running very similar on the PlayStation 4 compared to the PC.
Oh, for sure. But like, give it a year or two,
I don't know about a year or two. I'd say like maybe 4 years. I think we'll see more noticeable differences. But right now, it's just the difference really isn't there. Plus, you got to keep in mind the big thing for me when it comes to the consoles and why I prefer consoles over PC, because yeah, I am more of a technical person, and it will get to the point, just like with any other generation, that if you want the best version, you have to get the PC version, because there's always new graphics cards coming out, and there's already PCs that are a lot more powerful than the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But the thing is,
I reviewed one earlier this year.
Yeah, but the thing is that with PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, the hardware in every PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is the exact same. Whereas with the PC, they're very different. So the developers aren't able to fully optimize like they are for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. That's why you'll see a game that will run, like, for example, look at some of the games that ran on PC end of the last console generation. They're running max, and they require these $2,000 rigs. But then you've got a PS3 that's 7-8 years old, and they have games that compete with those games running on max. The reason why is because they're able to optimize.
I would debate that, because like a perfect example of this is Saints Row 2 and 3.
Well, yeah, absolutely. With Saints Row, yes, but I'm talking about games that were So look at a game like The Last of Us. There's not many games on PC that look that good. Yes, there are some, but there's not many PC games that look that good because they don't optimize on PC. Like they can't optimize, because they're going to release a game and there's going to be however many graphics cards and processor and RAM combinations. There's no optimizing they can really do. Well, yes, they can optimize for specific graphics cards and release drivers so the game runs 10% smoother, but they're working on various graphics cards, whereas the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, with Naughty Dog's working on the next Uncharted for the PlayStation 4, they're working on one processor, one graphics card. They're working on that. They're able to fully optimize and get what they can out of that device, whereas they can't really do that with the PC. So
no, they can't. But like at the end of the day, like like first off, the PC exclusive outside of a couple of companies is dead. Like,
that was the other thing I was going to bring up, is with the console market versus the PC. Like, yeah, there's very few PC exclusives. The new game from Cliffy B, what's it, Blue Streak? Is that what it's called?
Blizzard games. Most Blizzard games they were.
Yeah,
Diablo's weird for some reason.
Yeah, those games. And I honestly would not be surprised. I'd be willing to bet Cliffy B's games coming to consoles. There's no way that he's gonna only release that on PC. Come on now. But yeah, look at the exclusives, because I mean, yeah, like this year there isn't too many. I mean, like Xbox One, there's Sunset Overdrive. PlayStation 4 has Drive Club, Little Big Planet 3, and then Microsoft has a couple more. The Halo Collection. There's Halo 5 coming out, which those may not even come out on PC because they didn't come out with Halo 4 on PC, did they?
No, so here's my thing though. Like the vast majority of games that people play are multi-plats. I mean, you look at stuff that throughout the year. I mean, yeah, there are going to be those exclusives to each console, and that's like I said, like if exclusives were not a thing, I would game purely on PC. Like I would have no reason to buy a console because I mean I can use any controller I want.
But let's just within the next, let's say a year. Let's say by the end of 2015, let's look at all the games that aren't even coming to PC. We've got Destiny, we've got Sunset Overdrive, we've got Metal Gear Solid 5.
No, Metal Gear's coming to PC. That's on PC.
Oh, but okay, so Metal Gear's coming, but then we've got Bloodborne. We've got there's gonna be games that aren't even announced. Uncharted 4. Like there's just so many games coming out that are never gonna touch the PC. So I think, like, right now, like, if you have a PlayStation 4 and a... Plus, let's be honest here. Now, it might vary for people, but I bet for most of us, most of our friends are playing on consoles versus the PC.
So here's the thing. Like, that's a very weird split for me, because I have friends on every fucking platform, and it's actually becoming the most irritating thing about buying multi-platform games for me, because, you know, you guys are on PS4, then I have like 3 friends over on Xbox One, and then I have a bunch of friends on Steam, and it's like, well, fuck, what do I buy this game for? And generally it's getting to the point where I just lower down like genres. Like I buy my sports games on the PS4, because that's where you guys are. You guys like sports. Like I'm typically gonna buy my shooters on the Xbox because that's where all my shooter friends are. You know, like a game, you know. And PC does have its exclusives though. Like last year we got Gone Home, that was PC exclusive. Audio Surf 2. That was PC exclusive.
Well, right. Well, yeah, but indie titles. I'm talking about big blockbuster titles, though.
Okay, like yeah, that is where it is short, though. I mean, funny enough, I just read an article about this. It's like, you know, how you can get 4 of those indie titles for one AAA game, and depending on the game, you probably might get more of your money's worth out of those indie titles. Obviously, everyone's different. I know that. Like, I've played most of the major releases this year, and my favorite game is a AAA game from Nintendo, but my second favorite so far is an indie game. You know, like, that's... So, like, everyone's taste is different. Like, Rogue Legacy is a game that just... You know, like, last year, Rogue Legacy was a PC exclusive, and now it's out on Vita and the other PlayStation consoles, but for a year, that game was exclusive, and, like, Dota 2, that's exclusive. You know, like, I continue to look at like what are the biggest, most popular games right now, and they are largely PC games. Like when you go out to the general public, what are the biggest games out right now? League of Legends, Dota 2, Minecraft, Hearthstone. You know, like all of those are, and also a lot of them are free to play. But you know, and this goes back to the fact that the PC is the biggest platform for games. Like, yes, not everyone has a gaming PC. Very few people do. But a lot of people like to play games on their PC, and it's why games like League and Minecraft
Here's the thing.
Are doing well.
They may not have a gaming PC, but because stuff like Hearthstone and League of Legends can run on PCs that are very old, yeah, it's very accessible, too. Like, I have this really old... I have this 4-year-old laptop. I can't play a single... game. If you decide to render some smoke, the thing cries and goes home. It gives up completely. But it can run League on minimal settings, and when you play a game like League, that's all you really need. And it can play World of Warcraft on the lowest settings, and it can play StarCraft on the lowest settings. So, you know, like there are some PC games, like you notice that these hugely popular PC games can run on hardware that is very weak.
I mean, like Tori's boyfriend, she, you know, for those of you who don't watch 6-Minute Access, Tori's a person who is trying out for staff as an artist and writer and other stuff, and I was talking to her boyfriend. Dude plays a bunch of PC games. Yeah, you know, he runs it all on a, you know, kind of mid-range-ish laptop. Like, it's not a high-end gaming laptop like mine. It's not a gaming PC like Nick. It's not even a slightly dated gaming PC like Anthony's. Anthony's the only thing that's dated really is the graphics card. It is a legitimate, it is a straight up legit mid-range laptop, and he's playing League, he's playing Hearthstone, he can play most Valve games like Dota and Team Fortress, and most MMOs, and like people are wondering how these PC games are getting this huge audience, and it's because
how accessible they are.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not just accessible, but there's like some various factors in it too. Like, an integrated graphics chip isn't as terrible as it used to be.
They've come a long way.
Yeah, they come a huge long way. Back in 2005, if you had an integrated graphics chip, you literally couldn't do anything with it. Like, straight up, you just couldn't do anything except look at a web page. That was like the luckiest you were ever going to get. Nowadays, nowadays, Intel and AMD, they're like working on putting in like an actual graphics chip within the CPU itself and making these APUs. AMD calls it APUs. So you're basically
what's powering the Xbox One and PS4 are APUs.
Yeah, they're custom made. But even on the PC, you can be like, hey, if you buy a higher end APU chip, you can, you can probably play World of Warcraft on medium settings, maybe even high settings. Like, and you can do that at like 1080p. So integrated chips are working well today. So if you just go out and buy like a basic laptop that has no graphics chip in it, no dedicated graphics chip, I should say, you can still play a game at a decent low end setting.
And here's the thing, like I spend my day, like part of my time at work looking over mid to high end PCs, and I mean, what was that card that just came out? 750 Ti. That thing came out. That thing can run most games on high. And that thing is what, like $120, $200? Like, that's not an expensive card, and it runs straight off the motherboard, so you don't need a power supply.
The 750 Ti.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the 750 Ti is kind of expensive though. It's like 170, 180.
That's still not that bad. Like, I mean, put one of those in a halfway decent desktop, and you're good to go. Like that's not bad at all, especially when I think about like, okay, like I mean, I bought all three consoles over the past year, 5, 4, 3. That's $1,000. Like, granted, I'm gonna get exclusives on all three of those platforms, but I'm, $1,000 can build you especially if you already have like a case and some other parts, can build you a ridiculously good gaming PC. It's a matter of being more accessible, and I feel that's what the consoles, getting people to commit $300 to $500 for something that is a media hub and plays games can be kind of hard. But like, everyone owns a computer, pretty much. So if you can get your game to run on most computers, then
if you can get your game to run on my laptop, you're pretty much you basically just hit a huge amount of computers already.
Yeah,
my laptop graphics chip, integrated graphics chip is an AMD Radeon HD 4250. It can only play World of Warcraft on low settings. It can only play League at low settings. But it can play Hearthstone at medium settings.
Them card game effects, man.
Yeah, those card game effects. You need them. You need them. Those games hit such a huge number of PCs because they can run on just about anything.
Yeah, you buy your kid in middle school a $400 laptop, they can play all those games.
Minecraft is...
It's blocks.
It's the biggest game amongst kids right now, easily. Like, just no question.
My brother's obsessed with that game.
Yeah, it's a great game. I'm personally not the biggest fan, but it's a great game. And Minecraft can run on just fucking anything. They have that game running on iPhones and Android phones and. Yeah, and I think that's part of the big reason that the iOS platform is getting so big. The problem with the iOS platform is just finding a control method for it. But I It's just a
I'm
matter
telling
of...
you, man, the day that Apple comes out with their own controller for it and it's working with Apple TV and it can, oh man, I'm telling you, like Apple, I give it 3 to 4 years and Apple's gonna be a major company in the gaming industry.
I can see
Well,
that.
it kind of depends. It kind of depends what aspect of the gaming industry you're talking about, because they're already pretty huge as it is with,
Oh, absolutely.
iOS.
I'm talking about more
Like when you're
about
talking
the.
about like it's like you're saying, oh, Apple's a major player in the portable market. Well, you
Oh
kind of
no,
have to
they've
look at
already
what
taken that
aspect you're talking about.
over.
Are you talking about like phone portable market? Or are you actually considering them as part of the portable market where Nintendo and the Vita are sitting? So
No, yeah, I mean, as far as
The
portable
what?
games, I mean, they're more successful than Nintendo there by a long shot.
I
But
heard the name of a failing system. That's weird.
the Vita.
I
PlayStation Life, it's great life it has right there.
Yeah,
I'll say this.
It's named almost ironically in a way.
I'll say this. I'm gonna be playing a ton of my Vita when Rogue Legacy, when I can afford to buy my copy of Rogue Legacy for it. Like, that game is ridiculously awesome. That's another PC game that's awesome and will run on nothing. Like, I actually just pulled up the PC version. Rogue Legacy, everyone, one of the best games for the Vita and the PC. It's an indie game that came out last year. We forgot about it. Okay, it runs on a 2 gigahertz processor, 2 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA graphics card from 7 years ago.
Wow.
So,
Crazy.
I mean, like, and I feel that's going to be one of the biggest hurdles for these consoles to overcome. Like, I mean, Cliffy B, what's his next game? It's free to play, it's for PC. It probably won't run on a toaster, but it'll probably run on a modern system. Like that, and that's
I think it's gonna be kind of like Unreal, where I mean, yeah, the Unreal Tournament, where you don't need to have the biggest and baddest machine. A decent computer will run it on like the low settings, and obviously, if you want to run it on max, you have to have a pretty good system. But
yeah, like I can see that. Like, I mean, I remember when Unreal 3 came out, I was running a 6800, and that ran Unreal 3 okay, and then a 7800 did pretty good. Yeah. But
yeah, but let's go. We like totally went off into a whole nother conversation. That's why our show's called Unscripted Access. But
that was what episode 1 was. I was like, hang on, guys, we're off topic, and you guys were like, that's the point.
Yeah, that's the point of the show. But let's finish up with The Last of Us. So, as I said, I've been playing the game, and yeah, overall looks better. But here's my thing: like when I played Tomb Raider, and then I played Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, I was just like, wow, the difference was so monumental. It's like, oh my gosh, this game looks like 10 times better.
So,
With The Last of Us, I played it, and I was like, yeah, it definitely looks better. But it wasn't an eye-opener for me, and part of that may be because the game did look already so good on the PlayStation 3. But what does enrich the experience extensively is the frame rate. Because that 60 frames per second, when you're running around, just seeing how smooth it is, and then the shooting, like everything's just so much smoother. It enriches the gameplay experience a ton. So, yeah, the game looks a lot better. The frame rate definitely makes a big difference. GameStop's running a promotion right now where you can get the game half off if you go take in your The Last of Us for PlayStation 3, which we'll get into in a second. Yeah, we'll get into it in a second with Bronson. But you get the game for half off, and that's good promotion. Is it worth $50 otherwise? It depends. If you're a big fan of Last of Us, yeah, sure, why not? You got the DLC in there, so if you never even picked that up, that's like $10-15 right there that you're getting included with the game. You got the multiplayer that's also remastered,
and then you get the multiplayer DLC, which
so yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of The Last of Us, absolutely it's worth the $50. But we haven't heard from John. I know John's been playing through it. John, you've beaten the game 7 freaking times. So if anyone knows anything about how The Last of Us ran on PlayStation 3, it's you. So what do you think about the remastered version?
I like it a lot. Obviously, it's The Last of Us. But I think the further I get into it, I just got out of Shantytown. The further I get into it, the more the graphics actually start to hit me. So I mean,
I haven't gotten that far yet, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, like, there's definitely an improvement. Like, I mean, I've been messing with that photo mode, and I've taken so many pictures, and it's just like, it got to the point where seriously earlier I was thinking, why the hell am I taking all of these pictures? Um, and yeah, and I still haven't, answered that question. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely beautiful. It was beautiful to begin with, but I think I'm starting to really tell like the big difference. And in addition to that, it definitely runs smoother. Um, I I think this is just me, but I swear the sound is better. Like something I'm playing with a PlayStation Gold headset, and I was listening to it earlier, and I kept hearing
I
things.
mean, what did you play the original with, though?
I didn't play the original with anything.
Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I played the original most of the time with my Astros, and it was fucking mind blowing. And it got to the point where I just like had to play with my regular TV speakers because I was like, this is too much. This clicker noise, too much for me.
Yeah, it definitely gets intense, but now I
the
have
sound
yet
of a clicker. Ha.
I have yet to play the multiplayer on this. I've kind of been, sticking to the single player right now, but I'm excited. It's a lot smoother. It's a lot prettier. If you haven't played The Last of Us, you're crazy and you need to get this
Oh
game.
yeah, no. I have a friend who skipped the PS3 version. He bought a PS4 literally this past week, and I'm like, play the goddamn Last of Us.
So
Yeah,
he hasn't even played it. Oh yeah, I mean, especially if you haven't played The Last of Us yet, and you got a PlayStation 4, pick it up. I mean, you're not only getting an amazing game, you're getting it remastered. So
Yeah,
yeah,
not to
and
mention-
with all the DLC for $50, yeah. If you haven't even played the game, you gotta pick it up.
Yeah,
Hey, Bronson,
Yeah. What's up?
don't add this to the list of reasons to make me get a PS4. I don't actually own The Last of Us yet.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh
Anthony.
my gosh!
No, I
Anthony.
played it. Okay.
Yeah, I loaned you
I
my
played it.
copy.
I finished it. I just don't own it yet.
Yeah,
Alright, so
there
Anthony,
you go.
Anthony, Destiny's coming out. Drive Club. The Last
The
of Us
best
Remastered.
version of The Last of Us, and then when Metal Gear comes out next year, you'll just be ready. You'll just have the system ready to
Shut
go.
up.
This is going to be a weekly thing, guys. Every single Unscripted Access is going to be us trying to pitch a PlayStation 4 to Anthony. Like,
Oh, it'll be worse than weekly. It's gonna be bi-weekly because I'm over at Bronson's house.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
I'm just
glad
glad that
PS4 games too. Oh man, I'm making sure we do the PS4 version of everything now.
Make sure you do an extensive 60-minute access of Drive Club.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just maybe 2 hours, a 2-hour one. That'd be real good.
Oh, Anthony.
I'm just glad that Bronson's TV is not cool enough to show the pure beauty of it.
Anthony, come over to my house. Let's play Drive Club on my TV.
Thanings, Nick. I am not ready to commit $180 of gas bill just to drive down to your apartment.
Maybe we should start doing 60-minute access on my smaller TV, the one with the OLED. Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe you should do 60-minute access over at my house.
Maybe we should.
Then you're gonna be like, instead of selling you a Kirby vacuum, I'm now gonna demo PlayStation 4 on your television.
Yeah, just really go all the way with this. I mean,
but right now, no.
All right, and John. Oh, actually, no. We got that party at Tori's place in like a week or two. That giant. So we're throwing a giant like Halo. It's like board game day mixed with Cards Against Humanity, like basically a giant nerd party. And like John, I'm telling you, we should bring over our PS4 and put it on her projector. That would be fucking Last of Us on that projector, John. Think about it.
That would be pretty sweet, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
Where Joel's bigger than you in real life.
I'm pretty sure he's bigger than me either way, but yeah.
Yeah.
Joel's a badass.
Yeah, it's an 8-foot screen. So
that's awesome.
I mean, yeah, like what we're gonna. Oh man, I'll talk to her about that. Anthony, we might be hanging out after 6-minute access this week.
I haven't done it yet, but I mean, you guys have, not John, but Anthony and Bronson, you guys have been to my apartment. So, like, the movie theater on the Sky Deck here, I've always wanted to do game nights on that dang thing. That thing would be so freaking awesome. That thing is like, it's like a 20-foot theater projector screen. Shit would be so sweet.
That would be, like, I mean, I've already seen, like, movies on an 8-foot, a 20-foot. That seems fucking intense.
Yeah.
Oh, man, Anthony, man, telling you, man, hey, man, if you want PS4 quickly, my job, they hire almost anyone, just 2 weeks, and then you're done.
Here's the thing, I don't exactly need one quickly.
Hey, man, you want to play Last of Us multiplayer with John and I? Fun.
I already played The Last of Us.
I mean, but it's with Bronson and I this time, though.
Yeah, and also, this multiplayer is basically bum fights the video game.
It is.
Bum fights the video game.
I mean, you basically are having people who are who are dying in the zombie apocalypse, so they're effectively bums, fighting each other on a map.
Basically.
With some Uncharted. I
mean, like, I don't know, man. We need... Anthony, I'm telling you, we're gonna get Anthony to cave on this. We got to. This is the TGA initiative, because everyone on the staff, except for you, and if Tori joins, Tori are gonna get one. Tori's committed to a Wii U first. She says Wii U first for her. So okay, fine. But she doesn't play multiplayer games with us anyway. So Anthony, I'm telling you, man, that Destiny bundle, and then a couple weeks later, you pick up Last of Us with it. A couple weeks later, you got that. You got that Drive Club. That's 3 games right there. 3 great games.
Keep in mind, you get a decent chunk of Drive Club for free too if you can't buy them immediately.
Yeah, that too. And not only that, but if you get that Destiny bundle, you get $10 PSN credit. Use that on something you want. Maybe get Transistor's a pretty rad game. Rogue Legacy's pretty good.
And he just stays silent.
Not buying one.
I'm really curious to see if this is gonna happen. I'm really curious to see if Anthony ends up buying one before the year. We'll see what happens.
Because right about now, I know what the date is. That's gonna make me be really hard pressed. I'm like, okay, so September is gonna be really hard because it's like Theater Rhythm's coming out. Theater Rhythm's happening. Hyrule Warriors is happening. And Destiny is happening. So it's like that date, just like September 9th, right? Is the date?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the date, and I just like look at him like, man, I want my September's already busy because by then I'm already in college again. When I play the Hyrule Warriors, I want to play Theater Rhythm. I'm already playing an MMO. Do I really want to go out and spend $500?
I mean, I think of it this way, like, I mean, Destiny, you'll have that experience for like months on end, and you might be able to drop Final Fantasy while playing Destiny with us. And then, oh god, we're gonna, so that would make a lot of free time, and then, oh man, just that Anthony, I'm telling you, man, and then. Hey, is everyone here interested in Evolve in some way?
Oh, yeah.
Evolve, yes. I have not redeemed it yet, but I got into the Evolve Alpha. So I'm gonna put that code in and check it out.
See, Anthony, we do 4-player Evolve. It'll be like the Left 4 Dead on Halloween.
Now, the Alpha is on PC, unfortunately, but I do have a strong PC, so I can run it very well.
Yeah, that game does not seem like it could. That game seems like it could run on like not the world's best PC.
Yeah, but I have a good decent. I have the 670 Ti, I think is what I've got. No, I have the 660 Ti.
Yeah, and so they don't even have the specs that it takes to run that game up yet. I don't know. I look at it, and it's like, this doesn't seem like too ridiculous to run. So I don't know. We do Left 4 Dead every Halloween, Anthony and I. So I mean, Anthony, this could be that new Left 4 Dead.
Wait, what?
That, like, Evolve could be the next Left 4 Dead. Me, you, Aaron, and I guess John will replace Joe. Think about it.
You know, Bronson, you already burned up the trying to get me a console thing when you shoved me into getting a Wii U last year. Okay.
That was. And
And it
wasn't
was,
that a good
mind
decision?
you,
Wasn't that a good decision? Why don't we want to repeat this decision?
Because it is an expensive decision. That's the thing.
Oh,
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, last year you shoved me into getting a Wii U roughly about the same time, which was September.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm just saying it was a good decision the first time.
And the reason why I bought a Wii U is because at the time it seemed like good value, because if I bought a Wii U later and Wind Waker separately, it would cost me more than if I just bought the $300 bundle. So I bought the $300 bundle because it was good value. Whereas now it's just like that Destiny bundle is like what, only $10 cheaper than buying it separately?
Well, and you get a $10 PSN code, so let's say 20. Well, all right. Now hold up here. Now, but here's the thing: you will be able to play Destiny with Nick, Aaron, John, and Kyrie and I, and Bremen.
Yeah, because if you wait too long to get it, then we might not be on as much as we will be in September.
Yeah, and I mean,
because next year there's so many games.
Yeah, and can you really put a price on that friendship?
Really, Bronson?
Wow!
Wow! He just threw that card out there.
Oh no!
Leave it to Bronson.
I hope
really
you guys
put
know
a
I'm
price
joking.
on friendship.
Dear God, I hope you know I'm joking. But
yes.
anyway,
it's funny.
You know, come to think of it, that PlayStation isn't going to cost me $400. It's going to cost me like probably $500 or $550 because I have to swap out that thing for a Seagate solid-state hybrid hard drive.
Oh yep. God, damn
solid-state hybrid drive, they call it.
I mean,
yeah, hybrid, yeah.
Yeah, giving my PlayStation 4 storage for its lifetime.
Okay. I would just like to say I have a 500 gig and it's fine with me because the installs are really quick on this system.
Yeah, I have a Seagate terabyte in mine, hybrid.
I mean, my thing with it is the installs on this system are actually fast, so it doesn't bother me.
Well, the thing is that it doesn't help to have a little bit of SSD storage, and I happen to know that once I get a PlayStation 4, it's going to be like, this thing has to last me for like the next 8 years, and my PS3 with its 500 gigabyte hard drive, I don't even game on it that much, and already that thing is probably like 2/3 full already.
Yeah,
and that's a 500 gigabyte hard drive.
Yeah, and that's the PlayStation 3 too. The game saves and downloads take up a lot more space on PlayStation 4.
And I might as well take care of the storage problem now because let me tell you, swapping hard drives out of PS3 was a major pain in the ass. Because let's be honest, I didn't have PlayStation Plus. I couldn't like throw every single save file I had onto the cloud.
Well, and here's the thing though. You won't have to pay this expense later, and the way the PS4 is selling, that thing's price isn't going down anytime soon.
Hell no, it ain't.
Anyways, as I was saying, it's like when I was swapping hard drives on the PS3, the way that backup works, it literally backs up everything, including installs. So there was no way I had a portable drive that was willing to format into like a exFAT or FAT32 file system.
Backing up installs is just stupid.
So I had to delete every install so that way I can like make things small enough that I could fit onto a flash drive. Then I swapped hard drives, then I gave it, then turned it back on, and then I put all my saves over. Sweet, so now I have to reinstall all my games. Thing was, Sony servers were a little slow that day, so reinstalling Gran Turismo 5 and all of its patches took like 2 or 3 hours. Because, the PlayStation's oh so great with its patching system. Oof.
Yeah.
Anyways, and that's just with the PlayStation 3, and I'm just like, if I have to swap the drive out in the PlayStation 4, how long will it take for me to bring over everything? It's not like I have a second PlayStation 4 that says, transfer please.
Yeah, but okay, so here's the thing. Because you will be a permanent PlayStation Plus member, because, you want to play online, and...
Yeah.
That means all your shit will be saved to the cloud. I had to format my PS4 hard drive because it fucked up. But it didn't fucking matter at all because I, just went on Plus, oh, all my saves are here. Okay, that works. So, there you go.
Yeah. But okay, we've done our weekly sales pitch to Anthony to get a PlayStation 4.
I don't think I'm any more tempted, and if I am tempted, I'll just wake up tomorrow with it erased out of my head. I'm like, what's this thing about PlayStation 4? Oh, I don't care about it yet.
That's why I'm telling you,
here's
Bronson.
Here's the thing.
That's Bronson, on a daily basis, you need to send him Drive Club videos.
Here's the thing.
We need to make this our mission.
If that Destiny bundle was $400, I would have just went on the GameStop website, or not, after Bronson's rant. I would probably gone to like some online retailer's website. Sorry, just had something bother me. I'll go to the retailer's website and pick 1 day shipping and just get it over to my house if it was like $400. Because that is like a great value. I get a white PlayStation 4 and Destiny for like $400, but it's not $400.
Oh, and you're getting a month of PlayStation Plus with it also.
I know, but...
And $10 of PSN credit. So that totals up to being like, I don't know, almost worth like $50. So... Guys, let's do this. Right. We're gonna do this.
We've done our sales pitching. Let's continue on. Let's go on to the news. So we talked about The Last of Us Remastered.
Oh yeah, all right.
Oh yeah, the game. Oh yeah, talk about your GameStop story.
Okay, yeah. So I want to go do that Last of Us trading deal because I got the PS3 copy. I was like, well, if I have the PS4 copy, there's no point in keeping the PS3 one. So fuck yeah, I'll do that trading deal. Yeah, I'll trade that in a couple other games, get the game for free. I go there after work, because my work was starting at 11 instead of noon. I was like, okay, well, fucking mall GameStop doesn't open until 11, so I guess I'll go in after work. That's fine. Whatever. Drive there after work, and I wait in line for a good 10 minutes, because it's, it's busy for whatever reason on a Tuesday afternoon, I guess. And, alright, that's, once again, that's fine. Whatever. And the dude gets a phone call mid-thing, and he's like, someone calls and asks if they have The Last of Us Remastered. And he's like, and he scans the barcode, and he's like, oh yeah, we only have pre-orders, man. And I'm thinking, it's okay, maybe he's talking about, like, I got the last one. Maybe I'm lucky. He's like, nope, man, sorry, only for pre-orders. You should have pre-ordered. And I check with the other GameStops near there, and no, don't have them. And I am super pissed because, one, I want to get the game on day of instead of having to wait for GameFly, but also just because they gave me that same shit where it's like, oh, you should have pre-ordered. And I'm like, motherfucker, I used to work with you. You don't need to give me this spiel, so fuck off, one. Two is, I hate that they try and guilt me into pre-order, like, oh man, you should have pre-ordered. No, all that makes me do is you doing that is I want to go to the Best Buy that is literally across the street.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, if it weren't for that deal, it's like I don't buy games at GameStop. I hate that company.
No, exactly. I went there when I worked there because 10% off everything, 20% off you shit because I had a rewards card. But it's becoming more and more. I don't want to shop there because of this shit like this. It's like every time I go in there, they try and get me to pre-order tons and tons of shit, and I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking pre-order anything. Here's the thing, I only pre-order games that are actually probably going to be rare, or if the pre-order bonus is actually worth it. Like a perfect example of this is Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 2 is probably going to be kind of hard to find. That's not a game that a lot of people are interested in, kind of a niche title, probably not going to be at Best Buy. But I understand Best Buy not having a wall of Bayonetta 2. I get it. Supply and demand. And I get why GameStop only carries 1 or 2 copies of it. So I'll pre-order that. I should not have to pre-order The Last of Us Remastered. Fuck you. That game, first off, there's nothing coming out on the PS4 right now, unless you count downloadable titles.
Which is probably why that game is selling well, plus that GameStop promotion. That's probably why it's so. I'll be curious to see what the sales numbers are.
So I get the pre-order guff from 2 different GameStops. And like I said, does not make me want to go there. In fact, it did the exact opposite thing where man, you know what? Suddenly I really want to buy Destiny from Best Buy. For some reason, you should. I will. Man, Persona 4 Arena? Ultimax? That sounds like a game I should buy from GameFly or Amazon. I'm just so done with this shit. And Solid Kratos sent me this next news story, which
Well, hold
segue
on.
here.
Segue. Okay.
Yeah, it's a segue. Fucking GameStop is gonna have a credit card soon with a 26.666 interest rate.
Well, to be honest and to be fair, all stored credit cards are that outrageous. They're all outrageous. They'll get you on the no interest as long as you pay it off in time. But it's just the same thing at Best Buy. Like Best Buy, it's like high 20s. Freaking Target. It's the same thing everywhere.
I actually have a JCPenney card that has pretty low interest, but it's like the only one I've ever heard of that has that.
Yeah.
Oh man, all this does is encourage me to go to other retailers. Like, are you guys the same way, or what's the fucking deal here? Like, all that it does is piss me off. That's all that it does.
Yeah, I fucking hate GameStop. Fucking hate that company.
I get why they do the pre-order thing, especially after working there, but it still doesn't, excuse, one, you're not getting sales from this. Unless you are like my friend Quinn, where the only place that sells...
here's the thing. Here's the reason why they do the pre-order. Like, you used to work there, so you kind of know, but it's the fact that they're kind of locking you in as a customer there. Not to mention the people who completely forget they pre-ordered, so GameStop just got $5 out of you for absolutely nothing. But yeah, it's like they get you locked in so that, Best Buy has a $10 gift card. Well, I already have it pre-ordered at GameStop. I'll just get it there anyways. You're kind of locking in customers. You know how many to order. There's definitely benefits to it.
Yeah, but even then, I still get just super irritated because I'm like, really? Like, you didn't expect this from The Last of Us?
I didn't expect it to sell that well.
I did, because I was like, well, there's nothing, and I literally do mean nothing coming out for PS4 until Madden or Diablo, and those are still 3 weeks away, and Last of Us was one of the most critically acclaimed games of last year, and I personally know tons of people who were like, yeah, I'll wait for the PS4 version if there is one. So, I mean, I just can't. I'm like blinded by rage partly, and now I looked at the stores in town that have it in stock. And for those of you who don't live in Reno, I live downtown, and the two places that have them in stock are this place out on the opposite side of on the town next to us called Sparks, and it's relatively far away. And that's on low stock, so by the time Friday rolls around, they'll be out. And the only one who guaranteed have copies is the Summit. The Summit is fucking in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's so far away, and I'm gonna be honest, if I have to go to the Summit to get a copy of The Last of Us Remastered from a GameStop, I'm gonna be very pissed off. This whole ordeal has pissed me off immensely, and the same thing happened with Mass Effect. Except Mass Effect, they didn't have a trade-in thing like this. Or if I was just buying this game, I wouldn't have been this pissed off. I would have just gone to Best Buy and ranted about it less so. But this shit is, they knew they had this trade-in deal, which was get people in the store. And they knew, this doesn't get more sales. I get the tactic behind it. But most of the people I know go, whatever, gonna go to the Best Buy. That, in the case of our town, is literally across the street. It is literally right across the street. I go outside the mall, go across the parking lot, and across the street I go. Just no. Just not doing this whole dance. We'll go across the street.
Right.
Oh, God. Oh, well.
Slightly off topic, but I remember that it's the day Mass Effect 3 came out, it was 8 or 9 in the morning. And it was snowing a bit outside. I don't know why I remember that detail, but it was snowing a bit outside. And I thought, oh man, I really want to get Mass Effect 3 because I need to get that video review done. So I remember that GameStop wouldn't open for another hour and a half. But because in Reno is sort of a 24-hour city, Walmart's open 24 hours.
Walmart was open 24 hours everywhere, but go ahead.
No, not everywhere.
Reno's a 24-hour city, so it's open. I think in LA, everything just shuts at 9. Just how it is. But, Walmart's open 24 hours. So what I did? Oh, I went and found an entire shelf of Mass Effect 3. So I got it about an hour or hour and a half before everyone else lining up for the 10 a.m. launch of Mass Effect 3 at the local GameStop nearby.
Yeah, no, exact same fucking experience with me with Mass Effect 3. It's like, I go to GameStop, I wait in line forever and have to deal with this dude trading like a million PS2 games in to get a nickel. And, and I finally get to, I'm 2 spots away from the front. Dude says to me, like, all right, who's here for the 360 version of Mass Effect 3? That's where my first and primary save was, so, I raised my hand. Okay, how many you pre-ordered? And everyone there raises their hand but me. Is like, okay, all we have is pre-orders. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, this is, like, the biggest game of the spring. Are you fucking for real right now? And he's like, yeah, we get the PS3 version. I'm like, no, I'm good. So, yeah, man, sorry, should have pre-ordered. And walked off, drove across the street. Oh, look at this whole wall of Mass Effects that Best Buy seems to have.
Yeah, I fucking hate GameStop's fucking crooked. I fucking hate that company.
It's a pawn shop.
And I'd never fucking go in that store and I never buy shit from them because of that. I seriously want GameStop to just get the fuck out of business because I have no problem going to Best Buy or Target and buying my copy. I mean, they swear like you can only buy games at fucking GameStop, and if you don't pre-order, oh, you're screwed. And it's
Here's the other thing, too.
Have you heard of Target or Best Buy? I can just walk in there, buy my copy, and not have them bombard the fuck out of me about having to pre-order fucking games and trade shit in. They sell me the copy, my ass is out the store.
Here's the other thing, too. You pre-order, then you show up, and they're like, well, a pre-order doesn't guarantee you a copy.
Yeah, that's the...
So you're like, oh, pre-order to get a copy, but then you pre-order...
Yeah, it's stupid.
And then they tell you, no, it doesn't guarantee you anything.
I mean, like, at this point, the only reason I go is for trade-in credit if I have shit to trade in, or if they have a exclusive pre-order bonus.
But even then, why do you trade shit in the GameStop when you could sell it on Craigslist for twice the price?
Because it takes me far less effort to go to GameStop. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes me far like Craigslist. I have to actually pay attention to the listing and not to get stabbed by someone coming to my home. Or I have to go out and meet someone somewhere, and that could also result in me getting stabbed. Like, have I told the story about how I got my Rock Band shit off Craigslist? I had to drive this neighborhood in the shadiest shit area, like, so fucking shady. Dude's kind of looking around, and he, invites me into his home, and it was alright, apartment, not great, but it was, it was fine. And, he invites me in his room, just, really was trying to sell it very hurriedly. I think his girlfriend or a friend of his was there.
I certainly would never buy something off Craigslist. I'm talking about selling. I'd never buy anything.
Even then, though, I'm just some weirdo. I've actually had good experiences buying shit off Craigslist, but, dude, I bought my fight stick off Craigslist, but, dude is just really hurriedly getting through it and fucking, he's like, yeah, $40 for the the drums, the guitar, and the microphone for the PS3, and I checked, made sure everything worked. Yeah, the disc. I was like, all right, cool. I'm out of here. And I kind of look at the stuff for a while and look over it, and I consider the price. And I thought, I'm like, motherfucker, this was stolen. This had to be fucking stolen.
Why do you say that? Oh, because of the price.
Because of the price, how fast he was trying to get me out of there, the condition of the stuff, like the fact that the game did not have a case. I was like, this shit had to be stolen. No way this was not stolen. But then I've actually had pretty legit positive experiences off buying shit on Craigslist when I bought my fight stick. John, I have that Street Fighter fight stick, right?
Yeah.
I bought that shit on Craigslist. Yeah, look up, I was browsing for fight sticks, but I didn't want to pay, $200 fucking $150. I was like, oh, okay, well, check eBay, it's just like, well, maybe Craigslist. And I saw that, and I'm like, are you fucking serious? And he's like, yeah, $60. I'm moving to New York. This thing's way too big to take with me to New York. And I'm like, you fucking okay, sure. And I made sure that I took someone with me, because always take someone with you when you buy shit off Craigslist. We don't want a Buffalo Bob situation going on here.
Bill.
A Buffalo Bill, sorry. Fucking. You don't want to fucking have that shit going on. So, and yeah, like just no, just no. Like that's, oh man, like I don't know. Like, if you guys ever bought game shit off Craigslist or anything off Craigslist?
I don't buy stuff off Craigslist. I've sold a couple things, but I don't buy anything though.
See, the thing with selling is like you invite someone into your home, or you actually have to go
Oh
out
hell
somewhere to meet
no!
them.
They don't come to my home. Well, here's what I do. When I was still with my parents back at my house, I'd meet them at like the Target right down the street from my house. Or now I just tell them to meet me where I live. I just tell them to meet me outside my complex because first of all, they can't get into my apartment even if they wanted to. They don't know what apartment number I live in, so it's like I don't care. They know what complex I live in. What are they gonna do? They can't do anything. They can't even get into my complex without having a key. So I'm fine. But yeah, no, those people who have people come into their house, I would never do that. That's crazy.
You let me come into your
Yeah, I don't know. Like I live in a house, so I would have to like even then, like I have to arrange a meeting, and I haven't sold. No, actually, no, that's fucking wrong. I sold some swamp coolers and a heater on Craigslist, and I delivered. And like they said, hey, if you deliver it to us, we'll pay you extra. And I was like, yo, Ben, you're gonna come with me to make sure that I don't get stabbed. And he's like, all right, fine. Yeah. So I don't know. I've had relatively positive experiences with Craigslist for the most part. Wasn't there a documentary about a dude who lived an entire year off Craigslist?
I have watched that documentary, Craigslist Joe. It's so crazy. I'm just like, dude, you're so nuts. What's creepy is that I didn't know there's people that are this like weird, but there's people that will go on Craigslist and ask someone to come in the car with them and drive with them like halfway across the country that you don't even know. It's like it's kind of creepy. You don't know if the guy's a rapist or a murderer or whatever. There's people that let strangers come and sleep in their house. I'm like, you guys are fucking crazy.
I mean, like that is them having actual faith in humanity. Like that.
Yeah, those are the people who end up getting burned because I mean, there's some wackos out here,
and that's real shitty, right? Like that's real shitty that like those really chill people who are trying to help people, fucking are like, no, fuck you, just like you're the ones who are gonna get fucked by this. Like that's super shitty that has to be that way.
Yeah. But all right, let's go ahead and move to the next story. EA Access. You guys heard about this?
Oh yeah, my friend Robbie showed that to me yesterday.
Yeah, so EA has announced this new program called EA Access, and pretty much what the idea behind it is you pay $4.99 a month or $30 a year, and you pretty much think of it as like PlayStation Now, but just for EA select titles. So for example, Madden NFL 15, the latest NBA and FIFA, Battlefield 4, all these games. Pay $5 a month or $30 a year, and you can play all these games. It's crazy.
It's only four at a time, though. Like
yes, for a limited time, and it's only compatible on the Xbox One. Sony does not support this on the PlayStation 4 because they feel it's a bad value for the customers, which I think is funny because then they have PlayStation Now, which I understand is in beta, but at current beta prices, $30 gets you to play some crappy game for 90 days that you can go pick up at the store for $10. So it's funny that Sony comes out and says it's a bad value for their customers. But seems like a super good deal. Like, to hear this from EA, it almost seems too good to be true.
There's got to be some catch, I feel like.
Like, I feel it's that 4 games thing, and I feel that it's always good. Like, I feel when this launches, Madden's going to be brand new, and that's not going to be on there. Like, it's going to be last year's Madden. Like, all of last year's sports games and, like, Battlefield. Like, that's what it's going to be. Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense is something where it's, like, old sports games. Yeah, and like you said, like, previous iteration stuff. Like, but even then, that's still a pretty good deal. $30 for, like, if you're not someone who needs to have the latest and greatest sports game, you pay $30 a year and you get access to all the sports games and even like Battlefield. That's a good ass deal.
Yeah, that's not bad. Like for me personally, like I'd actually probably like that for every sports game that's not Madden. You know, because Madden, I want to have those new rosters. But you know,
and this Madden's a huge jump in Madden.
Oh yeah,
this year.
no, I love playing at E3. It was a ton of fun. The Broncos are so good in that game. It's ridiculous. Like that defense, just Miller and Ware side by side. That's so excited. Anyway, I don't know. Like I think this is a pretty good deal for the most part. I really want it. I really want a service to be like GameFly eventually, except digital, where it's like just fucking here is every game ever made. Pay us $50 or like $40 a month, and you just play them.
Right.
You don't own them, but fucking here, you want to pay us that? You want to pay us?
Here's the thing, though. With that, they would need to charge a hell of a lot more than that because here's the thing, like if there was a service and literally all you had to do is pay $40 a month and it was digital and you can access it instantly, then it's like at that point, who's gonna buy games anymore? Like, yeah, people who want to collect and certain games are gonna buy, but if it was that easy, like, yes, there's GameFly, but the thing with GameFly is that you have to mail your games, wait for them to get back, make sure the game's available. But if you are just instantly be able to play whatever you want to, they're going to have to charge a bit more for that because they're going to have to pay the developers and publishers a pretty big penny. So they would have to figure that out.
I would be willing. It's really hard to say what I'm willing to pay. Like right now, I'm a GameFly subscriber and I pay $25 a month for 2 games at a time, and the mailing turnover on those is about 4 to 5 days. So I'm relatively fine with that. So like if you could speed that up to instant and make it your entire catalog, the similar way GameFly is, I'd be willing to like go up to $100 a month. But even
and that's probably around what it would cost.
Because like that turnover time on mail and whatnot, like I'd be willing to bite on that.
Yeah, it probably would be, and even then there would probably be limitations to like how many games you can play a month. Like you can play a total of, let's say, 4 games a month. That's $100 a month or something like that. I could see something like that being worked out.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if you're really good with your turnaround, I think GameFly is $25 a month, and if you're really good about it, you could probably get 6 or 7 games done. But that's if you're just fucking on top of your shit. Which
that's if you like you're not working and going to school and you got free time out the ass.
Like I am trying to get the best value out of this subscription. Like I know for 60-minute access to about 4 to 5 games a month, but I'm typically not finishing most of those. So, I mean, that's, different beast altogether, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. This actually doesn't seem like a bad value, though. I mean, for what it's worth.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good deal. It's only going to be on next. And I think it's funny. I mean, Sony did come out and say this is a bad value. Like, Sony, come on now. Look at the prices you're proposing with PlayStation Now right now, and you're going to say it's a bad value? Like, this is a hell of a lot better value than what you're proposing with PlayStation Now right now. I mean, this puts PlayStation Now to shame. Like, seriously, like, some of these games are, like, for example, it cracks me up. They have, like, Ben 10 or something. Some game that no one plays. You can probably pick up at Target or Walmart for $10, $15, $30 to play it for 90 days. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're kidding me, right? Like, and you expect this PlayStation Plus service to be a success? Like, you guys spent $250 million. You bought Gaikai, however much time and resources to get this PlayStation Now service, and you guys seriously, if you guys launch with the prices you guys have now, I know they said they're working on a subscription service, so we'll see how well that comes out and what the price will be there. But if they launch with these ridiculous prices, PlayStation Now is going to be a disaster.
That's. The thing about renting is when you cannot afford to buy or only want to try. So I because first off, if we had to buy every game for 60-minute access, Anthony and I would be bankrupt. Fact. Because I mean, you think about that's one game a week. Now sometimes we do old games, and sometimes we skip games, but most of the time we hit every week. So that breaks down to something like, let's say 40 games a year. Think about that. 40 games a year. Let's say
that's like $2,000. It's like 60 times 40. That's like $2,400 in games before tax.
$2,400 a year. Yeah.
I'm gonna do half. Let's say half of those are $15 indie games, so $1,200 for the $60 games. And then pile on top of that $300 for the indies, so it'd be $1,500. That's a whole lot of cash. And yeah, IGN, that's no sweat. That $1,500 to IGN, that's nothing. To us, that's a whole shit ton of money. It's one of the reasons why when we get a fucking review copy, we're ecstatic. Because, oh my god, I don't have to worry about getting this shipped to me with GameFly. We don't have to worry about the cost. Yeah. And then also you guys get a review, which that's always good. Because I know you like those. Yeah. Anyway,
moving along. Activision the Destiny beta has sadly come to a close. September 9th cannot come closer. I had so much fun in the Destiny beta.
Yeah, real game will be here soon, peeps. Chill it out.
Yeah, so September 9th we'll be able to play the final game, but Activision has released numbers on the Destiny beta. So Destiny has set a new record, and the game hasn't even come out yet. It is the biggest console beta ever for a new IP. The beta alone was played by over 4.6 million people. 4.6 million people. That's crazy. Not really, not too much of a surprise per se, but crazy.
I mean, imagine if it was open the entire time and not just that last week.
Yeah, they opened the last couple days, but yeah, for something that was relatively closed, that's nuts. That just kind of gives you an idea of how successful this game is gonna be. I mean, this game. Well, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I know what I said. So I said that within the first month, we'll sell 10 million copies across all consoles. I think that's definitely gonna happen. I mean, at that point, you're just asking for 2.5 million on each console, which you may not hit that on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One because that's a super high attach rate within the first month. But PlayStation 4, I could easily see selling at least. Let's see, for example, Infamous
did nearly 2, right?
Yeah, Infamous did. Yeah, so I could see Destiny possibly doing 2 million on PlayStation 4 the first month. I could see it doing maybe 1.5 million on Xbox One the first month. So there's 3.5 million. So you're talking about 6.5 million between the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 in the first month. Oh yeah, definitely. So I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think 10 million in the first month's reasonable?
I can see it, between all consoles, and then you factor in a whole bunch of different factors.
Plus the PlayStation 4 bundle. Shit, it might sell over 2 million copies on the PlayStation 4 the first month because of that bundle too.
Yeah, I can see that as a realistic number, no issue. I mean, didn't Dark Souls do 1 million first month? So, I mean, there you go.
Yeah. So this game's gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be huge. So successful. I cannot wait. That's the one positive I take out of all these games getting delayed to 2015, because the Destiny is that type of game that I really want to invest a lot of time into. And if the games that were supposed to be coming out this fall were coming out, it's just I wouldn't have as much time as I'd like, because there's Batman, there's so many games delayed until 2015. But now it's okay, yeah, there's a couple games, I want to play Drive Club, and yeah, I want to play Sunset Overdrive, but nothing huge that I want to invest too much time into besides Destiny. So it actually worked out well for me.
I'm looking out for me personally. I know I'm gonna invest a lot of time into Persona Ultimax just because fighting game. And then I know that Bayonetta, I'll probably beat that once or twice. And then the only other really like game that has put long form time in at home is probably that World of Warcraft expansion. Like that. I mean, yeah, that's Anthony. I'm telling you this right now. If you don't buy a PS4, I'm absolutely buying you that Warcraft expansion. Like no question, that is happening.
I'm planning on putting a lot of time into that Diablo. I want to beat it. I want to beat it with more than one character class. So there's that. There's Destiny, and then there's Dragon Age. But
aren't you gonna be on the PC soon too? Like I know we're building you a rig, right? As far as I know.
Yeah, but I'm going to put it off for as long as I can.
Damn it! I was about to say you can get on that Diablo with me. I got that PC copy for free, whenever it came out, and I would absolutely play with invest in the expansion if I had someone to roll with.
So wait, why don't you go out of your way this time and get the PS4 Diablo? See, that makes sense.
Because that costs more money for me than just getting an expansion on the PC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. I'll go ahead and go out of my way. I'll get the PC. I'll get Diablo. We'll be good and happy. Maybe if you want, I can buy you a steak dinner.
Yeah.
Wipe your ass.
I'd just like to say that we'll probably never play Diablo now. So, I don't know. So, when are we building that PC for you, by the way?
I don't know. It's the big factor is the dinero. It's all about the money.
Yeah,
like it's not about the money.
I know that. I should talk to surprise everyone. I'm doing a review. Moondog refreshed their PC line. I'll be doing a review of that soon. And if you mention us, if you want to order a PC from them and you mention us and like their Facebook, you get $100 off a PC, a machine. So. Yeah, heads up there. When that goes live, that's gonna be a thing. So, yeah. Anyway, so
cool. Moving along. E3's passed, but Gamescom is coming up relatively shortly. I believe Gamescom is
in Germany.
Yeah, it's in Germany, but it's like a week away, isn't it? I think it's like.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's only like a week or so away from now, but interesting games showed up in Sony's Gamescom lineup, including Journey. Journey for the PlayStation 4 was listed, so we're likely to see Journey come to the PlayStation 4.
It'll probably be cross-buy.
I'm hoping it's a new Journey, not a. It's probably going to be the same game, but I'm hoping it's like a sequel. That'd be pretty freaking awesome if it was a sequel to Journey that they announced. They had Until Dawn on there, which is good because we haven't really heard much from that in a while. And they're going to show some games that have already been announced, such as Bloodborne, The Order 1886. It's weird because they had The Last of Us Remastered on there. And I'm like, that game's already out, but okay. Yeah, various multi-platform games, Far Cry 4. They have some weird games I've never heard of, like Pix the Cat, Nom Nom Galaxy. Let's see here.
I think I've actually heard of. They've actually heard of Nom Nom Galaxy.
Of course, they're gonna have Destiny. They have SingStar for Bronson over there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
They're showing off. Check this out: Killzone Shadowfall Intercept. That's DLC that came out around E3. Why that's gonna be there, I have no clue. And then Hustle Kings. Like I'm sure, like these aren't games. All games are gonna show during their press conference. At least I hope not. Like, hopefully, it does have games for play because Hustle Kings is a pool game. I really hope they don't waste time in their conference talking about. Oh, pool now in amazing 1080p using the power of the PlayStation 4. Like that would be.
I'll say this: whenever that SingStar comes out on PS4, we are absolutely doing 60-minute access.
Oh yeah, you have to. Just like Dance Central on Xbox One, you have to.
See, the thing is, in the case of Dance Central, it's not as it's not going to cause our traffic to plunge off the cliff because SingStar can do that because our singing is very good quality.
Hey, one of our staff members got complimented on her singing recently. So
That's her. What about the other 4 or 5 people in the room?
She will be the only one who gets compliments on her singing.
The rest of us just made everyone else deaf.
It's like, it's like Tori sounds great, but why are the rest of you strangling cats?
That's funny.
Goddamn. Yeah, I don't know. Like that's SingStar. I always enjoy SingStar. It's always a fun experience, and I think that's gonna be the game that finally gets me to buy a PlayStation camera. So, oh man, I don't know. Out of that list, what are you guys excited for?
I'm like, the thing for me is just like, unless they announce something new, there's nothing I'm super excited. Like, yes, I'm really excited for Drive Club because I'm a huge racing fan. But from PlayStation side, like, other than that, like, Little Big Planet 3, yeah, that's gonna be cool, but it's another Little Big Planet. The game, like I said, and it's not even gonna excite me there because I already know pretty much everything I need to know about the game, and I've played its Destiny. Like, like, I cannot trust them else. Like, I don't care about any other games. Well, I do. I mean, Sunset Overdrive looks pretty awesome, although it's on the Xbox One. But like, Destiny is just gonna be that game that when people go and look at my friends list, every single time they see me online, it's gonna be Destiny every single time. Cannot wait for that game.
See, now I'm on a crusade to get Anthony to buy a PS4, but to make things fair, Anthony and I should try and get you to buy a Wii U for Smash.
Yes, times 80 billion.
Yeah, like 4-player Smash. Come on now.
Maybe. Here's the thing, like, the one thing that's got me wanting to buy a Wii U more than anything else is Mario Kart, because I'm a Mario Kart addict.
You can play Mario Kart with us. We'd be down for that. I know.
We can beat
Mario Kart is very good. It's just don't play battle mode. It's terrible.
Battle mode in that game is horrible.
Pretty bad.
But everything else about that game is fucking awesome.
It looks amazing. You're sometimes baffled that you are playing a 1080p game on a system that only has like a quarter of the RAM of like a PlayStation 4. Yeah, it's just wow.
The main thing, like, here's my main thing with the Wii U, and it was the same thing with the Wii. It's just like, I'm that guy that I just want a standard controller.
Dude, like, you can get one though. You can get one. Those are available.
I don't like that Pro controller they came out with. I don't like the feel of it. It just
the Pro controller.
Yeah, isn't that what they call? Yeah. Yeah, it's the Pro controller.
I mean the controller without the game there's the gamepad, which is that tablet controller. Then there's the Pro controller,
I don't like using that gamepad. Like,
the gamepad, not the Xbox 360 shaped Pro controller.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because I think the Pro controller, the Wii U Pro controller, the one that's that conventional normal controller that Nintendo charges like $40 or $60 for, I think it's freaking amazing.
That's the one I'm talking about. I'm not too fond of it. I mean,
that's strange because I
haven't played it with it too much. I mean, I've only played every now and then at like parties and stuff. I haven't played with it too much. So I mean, I guess I could get used to it, but I don't know.
Here's the thing. First off, the tablet that thing gets comfortable. Like that, and in my opinion, it's as good as a regular controller. I did not have any issues with the tablet whatsoever. I can see how someone would, but I most certainly did not. It took me a minute. It did take me a minute to get used to it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Maybe I just need to get used to it. Because, like, here's my thing. Like, the Wii U, it's affordable. It's $200. It's like...
300. It's 300, but it comes with a game. It comes with the game.
Sorry, yeah, 300. Yeah, $300. And it's like, if the Wii U had a controller that was similar to that of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I'd be kind of tempted. Because, yeah, there is games I want to play. Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, Mario, like Super Smash Brothers, but like I don't care about the tablet controller at all. I just want to play the game that's why I like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is they don't go away. Like with the Wii, like I don't want to play with this stupid motion controller.
I understand the Wii. Like the Wii, I definitely get why you wouldn't want to play with that. Like the tablet though, it literally like when you sit down and hold that thing for an extended period of time, it's just like a regular controller. It's super light. Like there's, that thing, that thing is not an issue. Like in fact, I actually kind of like it, but that's because, my room gets super hot because it's under the sun all goddamn day.
Yeah, see, because here's my thing. Like, yes, I could get used to it, but here's my thing. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Nintendo games, like, with the exception of Mario Kart. Like, Mario Kart is my weakness. Which, I love that game so much. But here's my
Dude,
thing.
It's so pretty.
I'm just glad that in the case of
HD Rainbow Road.
Well,
here's
it's
the thing.
Like, here's the thing. Like, if I was to get a Wii U, it probably would have been best for me to get it like a few months ago when there's been like nothing coming out for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Because here's my problem: September, it's Destiny. Like, Destiny fucking comes out. Then there's Sunset Overdrive, Little Big Planet 3, Drive Club. So my year is pretty much covered primarily by Destiny. And then 2015, I don't even know how I'm going to have time for all the games coming out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in 2015, let alone the Wii U. I mean, the list goes on. Battle, like, The Order 1886.
The Order is a game that...
Batman, I'll still be playing Destiny, as I'm sure there'll be expansion packs. Uncharted.
Nick, I can use that excuse to not buy a PlayStation 4 also. Except
not necessarily, because
I don't buy games because here's the thing. Anthony can play Anthony, as far as the Wii U goes, like, he can play Bayonetta, he can play Xenoblade.
I mean, it's not only that, but I have 3DS games and I play an MMO or 2 MMOs by the time Warlords of Draenor comes out this year.
No,
I'm kind of a bit too busy to, I don't know, enjoy PlayStation at the moment.
John, we need to convince these two to buy systems. This needs to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you guys need all 3 of them, just because they look beautiful together. That's the only reason why I bought them. Just to make
your house look super geeky. No.
I don't know. I'm sure I'll get one along the line. I don't know. There's like this. It's like there's so many games coming out for the consoles I already own, though. It's like This is
the thing that really hurts as a gaming enthusiast. You don't have enough time to enjoy everything.
Yeah, like, I'm not a huge, like I said, I'm not a Nintendo head like Bronson and Anthony are. I like the Zelda, Zelda's cool.
How fucking amazing did that here's the thing, I'm not sure if you ever ended up watching that E3 trailer for Zelda, but holy shit did that look amazing.
Yeah, it looks cool, but see, that's the thing, I loved Ocarina of Time, don't get me wrong, that game's fucking awesome, but, other than that, I'm not a big fan of the Zelda games. I'm just not. It's not my cup of tea. Smash Bros. Yeah, super fun. Definitely, that's a game that would get me, and definitely Mario Kart. Like I said, Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. And then, but other than that, it's the Donkey Kong games. Yeah, they're fun. The Mario games are fun, but it's then I look at freaking Batman, freaking Order 1886, fucking Bloodborne, Metal Gear Solid 5. Those are the games that I'm
Nick,
super
something I wonder. Are you a huge fan of Pixar movies?
Pixar movies? Not really. I'm a huge fan of
Okay, because I came up with this analogy in my head. It's kind of like Nintendo just kind of has a style that's just animated and playful and just fun. And then you've got the big Hollywood kind of.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm a big fan of CG, so freaking Avatar, Planet of the Apes, that type of stuff amazes
your game preferences seems to fit that perfectly. Whereas when I was thinking Nintendo, I was like, gee, what studio do I think of off the top of my head that's like that? It's like DreamWorks and Pixar. So I'm like, yeah. So, yep.
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan. Of course, I was when I was a kid. Because who wasn't, right? Freaking the first Toy Story movie, and who wasn't a fan of those? But as I've gotten older, the Pixar movies, they don't really grab me. I don't really go out of my way to see them. But freaking movies oh man, I cannot wait to the new freaking Avatar. Although it's gonna not come out 2016. Freaking Avatar was freaking unbelievable. I love that.
As from a technological viewpoint, definitely.
As a movie, it was Pocahontas in space.
It was not.
It was. That movie is
It
Pocahontas.
Get
I'm
the
loving this.
fuck out of here.
All right.
Fucking
Listen.
Pocahontas
All
in
right,
space.
that shit is totally a parable for fucking America being settled, and those fucking blue people are absolutely the Native Americans. Fucking, alright, I'm telling you right now.
Oh my
Movie is
god.
fucking. No one else sees this connection? Are you telling me you really haven't noticed this?
You know what? I'm actually gonna stray away from that stupid topic.
But yeah, this.
No, but freaking Avatar, freaking loved it. Planet of the Apes, I love. Like, those movies that are like CG filled, I just freaking love it.
See, and I just do not care for a lot of those. I honestly, although a lot of my favorite movies are fucking just like, well, actually no, I love Scott Pilgrim, and that had a shit ton of CG. Same, Dark Knight kind of did. I guess I like a middle ground.
Although I will say, fucking latest Transformers movie is absolute trash. It's so bad.
Well, no,
it's
you just need to say Transformers movies are just trash.
No, the first
you
one.
You don't need to see the latest one.
I liked the first one. See, here's my thing. I got excited when Shia LaBeouf wasn't going to be in the fucking movie, and Mark Wahlberg would have been better from the very beginning. I fucking hate Shia LaBeouf as an actor just because he just wasn't the right guy for the fucking series. But and then it's like this whole thing where it's like father-daughter, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, this got freaking weird. Like, part of Transformers, you have this, like, freaking hot, like, co-star in the movie, and it's like, this girl's attractive, but then you're like, holy shit, she's, like, barely legal, it's this guy's daughter. It's like, get the fuck out of here. And then the story was stupid. It was so bad. So bad. Oh, man. The first one was really good. The second one was alright.
First one was alright, I guess.
The second one, was alright. Third one was pretty good, and then, but yeah, this latest one's just
the new one, the Age of Extinction thing. I can already tell that it is like going to be like something incredibly dumb, just for the fact it's like you've got mech dinosaurs with Optimus Prime riding on the back of it with a sword. That was one of the pictures. It looks like that is so dumb, but at the same time, it suckers you in.
That's the kind of stupidity I can get behind.
It's bad. It's freaking bad.
Well, no. See,
so
I enjoyed Torque. So the way I like movies to go one of two ways. It's either like they're like Scott Pilgrim, Dark Knight, Chasing Amy, where they're actually good films that take themselves relatively seriously. Or just movies like Torque and the later Fast and Furious, where it's like, this is already the most retarded thing imaginable, so let's just go all the way with this.
Fast 5 was amazing.
Let's just.
I remember the Onion did this pretty good joke where they had the quote main writer of Fast 5 or something like that come in. And it's like a 5-year-old boy. And the 5-year-old boy was just like, yeah, I'm just going to make all the cars go vroom, and then just going to go boom. And I'm just like, wow.
One movie I'm really curious about, and it's kind of funny, because I've never been a big Ninja Turtles fan, but like I said, I'm into the whole like CG stuff. So the Ninja Turtles actually has me kind of interested, but what I think is kind of funny, and anyone who follows films would know this, is like, so Megan Fox got pretty much fired from Transformers because she was talking shit about Michael Bay.
She should get fired from movies.
And then her acting career pretty much went to the shitter because, let's be honest here, Megan Fox can't act. Yes, she's very pleasing on the eyes, but she cannot act. So Transformers started her fame, and her fame ended there. But Michael Bay is once again directing Ninja Turtles, and she's in the movie. So I thought that was kind of funny. But...
So is this going to be as bad or worse than Transformers? That's the question.
Way worse.
I mean,
it looks horrible, like rancid.
I mean, I've never been a fan of Ninja Turtles, so it's like I don't know what to expect.
I always kind of had a neutral opinion of the Ninja Turtles. Really liked the arcade game. But other than that, just kind of And now Michael Bay, who, with the exception of like Bad Boys 2, everything he touches is just. I'll say this: he knows how to make movies for a mainstream audience. I mean, if the general public wants garbage, I guess someone has to be there to make the garbage. And you know what? He's probably enjoying the checks he gets for making that garbage.
Oh, he's getting paid. He's getting paid very nicely.
But god damn it, as someone who wants to see like good movies, like it hurts. It hurts a lot. So
yeah, the last movie for me that I was just like wow with was freaking Gravity, and now part of that may be because I saw it in IMAX 3D. But oh man, that movie is so good.
I'm trying to think of the the last movie I saw in theaters was Pacific Rim. Everything else
I liked Pacific Rim, but wasn't wowed by it.
See, I fucking love that movie, and
that movie's awesome.
Yeah, like I've kind of gotten to the point where I just don't want to go to the movie theater anymore.
It's freaking expensive now. Like, so check this out. I took my girlfriend when we went to go see Gravity. We saw an IMAX 3D, so keep in mind you do pay more for that. So freaking, we go to see freaking Gravity in IMAX 3D. We get popcorn and a drink. Shit came out to like $60-$70 for 2 people.
What?
See what I do
because the tickets were like $18 a piece, and then you got the freaking popcorn and drink, which is like another $25. It's like
this is what I do. Is that first off, the movie's gonna be about a week or 2 old already, and my best friend and I, we go in the morning, so tickets are like $5.50 for the early bird special, and we don't eat or drink anything in the theater, so that way when the movie's over, we are very hungry, so we just drive to Denny's and then just wolf down a lot of food.
Okay, so this is what I do. I kind of do the middle ground here. I'll typically go a couple weeks after, but it's still in the afternoon. Typically, exception made. The most recent movie I went to the opening weekend for was Dark Knight Rises. That's because I'm a huge
those Batman movies are
I'm a huge Batman fan, so absolutely was gonna go that opening weekend. And I'll buy the popcorn, but you bet your ass I'm bringing in my own soda and anything else I want to eat. So and they don't even give a fuck. They just let me walk in with my backpack, and they're like, whatever. So, I just go in my backpack full of shit, and just, there you go. I mean, they don't give a shit. They don't have ushers or anything in there. They're like, whatever, go watch the movie.
I think something that makes it hard for, I really don't mean this as an insult, guys, or anything like that, but, Nick and I have girlfriends, and girlfriends, in turn, are expensive.
Yeah.
So, my girlfriend, we go to the movie theaters, and she always wants popcorn.
Oh, of course.
She's also a huge fan of popcorn.
And if you get the popcorn, you're gonna be thirsty.
Yeah.
Well, that's here's the thing. That's why you fucking bring a backpack filled with drinks. This isn't, if you have a girlfriend, there's nothing stopping you from doing that.
No, yeah, I mean, we usually shove drinks and candy and stuff in our purse, but I think the worst part is that she loves popcorn. I love popcorn, but she also likes it when we have enough popcorn for the next day, because sometimes that popcorn's better when it ages.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. When that popcorn's been sitting there and it's like, it's not crunchy, but it's like, I don't know, I freaking love that.
Yeah, so you have to get a large bag, and then...
and then you get the free refills on the large.
You get the large bag, then you get the refill on the way out.
Yeah. Oh no, what you do, and I have friends that make fun of me for this, but I honestly just don't give a shit. Is we get there 20-30 minutes early or whatever, make sure we get a good seat, and freaking just chow down. Even if you only feel half, you only complete half, you're like, well, crap, the movie's about to start. I don't want to miss any of the movie. But I know I'll be out of popcorn soon. It's called, you fucking dump that popcorn down the fucking trash and go get your refill. So that you don't... I have friends that make fun of me. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not missing any of the movie. And I'm not about to be in the movie 30 minutes and I have any popcorn left. So I'm going to dump this shit down trash and go back and get me a refill.
That's not the worst.
I do the same thing with the drinks.
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not the worst idea in the world. I never buy drinks at the movie theater. I fucking refuse. Same with candy, because like,
I mean, the candy is like sometimes, but like most of the time
it's so fucking expensive.
They charge you like $4.50 for a box candy you can get at Target for 99¢.
Yeah, no, like that's when I was just so done. Like last time I went to the movie theater, they were like $3.50 for some Reese's Pieces, and I was like, nope, never again. Fucking coming in with a backpack. Fucking, I can get a big fucking bag of those, like a huge bag for like $2 at Walmart.
Yeah.
No, thank you. No, but movies are expensive. Yeah, like in your case, where you guys are taken, your bill doubles basically.
Yeah.
Yes, it's lovely. It's like, oh, I want to go to the movie. Usually when I go to the movie, it's like, oh, it's only like $12, and it's like, oh shit, never
24.
mind. Yeah.
24.
Or it's like go out to dinner. It's like, shit, I can go to Outback, go to dinner for like $13. You're like, oh shit, never mind. It's gonna be more like freaking $35-$40.
Yeah.
No. Perfect example is like I told Nick about that girl I took out about 2 months ago. And like we went to John. You've been to Juicy's, correct?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I went to Juicy with you guys.
Yeah, like I mean, a meal at Juicy's is what, about $10-11?
Yeah.
But fucking double, so it's $22. Like fuck. Like yeah.
That's for like a not like it's not like McDonald's, but it's not like your nicer restaurant either.
Yeah, so like
no. So it's like you like really want to go out, and you're like, damn, it's like. Freaking, I go to Outback and my bill is like $40. I'm like, damn.
Well, about 2 days ago, it was my girlfriend's birthday, and we went to this place on the river, called The Reef, and it's a sushi place, and it was like $26 for all you can eat each. And so I ended up spending $60 on two people.
Oh, you don't know what's bad is Disneyland. There's this restaurant called the Blue Bayou, and it's like
I've heard, yeah,
it's this restaurant where it's like kind of like this floating area, and it's like if you ride the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, you kind of see it. It's a super exclusive romantic restaurant. It was me and my girlfriend's anniversary or whatever, so we went there. And I know it's expensive. I mean, I know it's one of those places where it's like $50-$60 a meal. So it's like, you come out of there, it's like, yeah, you just had like a pretty decent dinner and you got drinks or whatever, and it's like, yep, here comes the tab, and it's like, before tip, it's like $120.
Oh, I've heard it. Oh, I have a better one. So me and my family were like going, we went to San Francisco, and there were 4 of us, and we went to this one restaurant that was on Fisherman's Wharf. The bill came out to over $400.
But for how many people?
4 people.
Whoa!
Well, yeah,
it was a really high-end restaurant. That's
pretty crazy.
It sat on Fisherman's Wharf, and that tab alone was $400, and it just blew.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It was 2 people after the bill, the tax, and tips. It was $150 for 2 people.
So you want to know what was one that was you want to know what. I talked about this when John, Anthony, and I went to Steak and Shake on Saturday. Is ever since my experience at Claim Jumper, I now always ask about refill price.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I was like, what in the world, Bronson? Because freaking, we're at Outback. Like, this is a night they got in. We're at Outback. He asked the waitress, he's like, excuse me, how much is your refills? I'm like, really, Bronson?
No, man. Look, all right, I got to tell you the story. It was Aaron, our friend Kyron, and our friend Quinn were going to the World of Warcraft Cataclysm midnight launch, and before that we went out to Claim Jumper. We're college students. We're kind of tight on money at the time, and we're like, okay, well, Claim Jumper's a little pricey, but man, all right. I order water, right? All these fuckers order sodas, okay? And especially Kyron, they're getting multiple refills at the night, assuming they're free. Check comes. Like $25 more expensive than we anticipated, and I'm like, I look at the bill, I'm like, hey motherfuckers, guess what? You are paying $2.50 a soda, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, between them it was like 10 Cokes, So I'm just like, you guys are fucking idiots. So like after that experience. And instead of being able to take the bus, we had to walk to the midnight launch. That is when I was like, "Yep, always asking now."
Here's
That's not
the
how.
thing. Well, here's my thing. It's like, first of all, I think that if you ask for a refill and the restaurant charges, I think it should be their duty to tell you.
But they don't.
What?
They didn't.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Bronson. Like, I can't remember the last restaurant that I've been to that I've experienced that. So it's like I'm sure you've been to Outback before, so you know they're gonna do free refills, Chili's free refills, Applebee's free refills, like everywhere.
It has been forever since I've been to an Outback. So like E3 was the first time in a while. So I wanted to be sure. It's oh yeah, Applebee's, Cheesecake Factory. They don't ask. But if I'm at a restaurant that I haven't been to in a while, or a restaurant I don't know, I always ask. Just always. Just no. Like, we're at Steak and Shake. Asked. Just no. That is
Is
not.
Is there any other restaurant besides Claim Jones that charges refills?
Just local places so far, I found.
Well, yeah, little like mom and pop shops, yeah, of course. But other than that, like most chain restaurants like that, they don't charge you for refills.
I was so surprised at Claim Jumper Man.
I know, but here's the thing: most keyword, the one that you don't expect will bite you.
Yeah,
bam, that's how you pay $15 in Coke. Like that's how that happens. Is you're like, whatevs.
But yeah, it's just like that's the one thing about being taken that just sucks. It's like everything you want to do, price doubles.
Yep.
Every single thing. It's like, man, I remember when I got upset that I paid $12 for a movie. I'm like, shit, if I could go to the movies for $12 now, I'd be a happy motherfucker. Like it's like, no, go to the movies. Okay, $40. And it's like you're hoping the movie's good, and then I pay to go see a freaking movie like Transformers. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. Like, this movie's so bad. Like, for like Gravity, for example, yeah, like I said, it was like $60 because that was 3D IMAX, popcorn, and a drink. But for that, I was like, okay, I can deal with this because the movie was just seeing that movie in 3D IMAX it wasn't just you watching a movie; it was an actual experience. Like it was pretty freaking awesome. And it's like when you go to see a movie like Avatar in 3D IMAX, oh my gosh, freaking amazing. But like, yeah, it's like there's so many, especially during the summer, there's so many freaking movies coming out, and it's just like there's movies that are so expensive. Like there's so many movies out right now that I want to go see, but it's like $40, $40.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, and I'm fucking alone, so for me it's fucking 20, 20, 20, 20. But. But even then, that's fucking expensive. Versus Redbox, where it's $2, $2.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'll wait until the DVD happens. I'm cool. Like I can wait.
Yeah.
It has to be a really, really just fucking movie. I'm so stoked for it to get me into the theater. Like that Dragon Ball Z movie that's happening. Absolutely going to see that in theaters.
Oh yeah, we're still going to see it, right?
Yeah,
I meant to talk to you about that.
Yeah, the 9th after we get paid. Absolutely.
That sounds good.
Yeah, because then we'll actually have money, and then we can go to the Cheesecake Factory afterwards because that's new in Reno.
So are you trying to like be my date or something?
Yeah, John, we'll make it a
sounds pretty
mandate.
expensive. We're having a conversation about expensive, and then you're like, oh yeah, let's go to a movie, the Cheesecake
So
Factory.
now Bronson gets to experience the Taken life. He's taking John on a date.
Yeah, John and I are going on a mandate. Awesome.
Paying everything for John. He's taking him to dinner first, and then take him to the movies.
Yep. Be great. Be a fun night, John. Well, fun.
Maybe get a couple drinks.
Yeah, we'll get you your mojitos. And
yeah, be awesome.
Freaking mojito drinker. I swear, like
Little Mike's Hard Lemonade.
What's wrong with Mike's Hard Lemonade? You got beef with Mike's Hard Lemonade?
No,
I just
see a lot
imagine
of women who drink it.
it's just so funny because it's like I can so see this happening, and it's like we're all like at an event or whatever, and I mean this like never happens at an event. We're always like working, like, as Anthony and I can attest, till 2-3 in the morning and just dying, but. The one time we do actually go to an event and we have the resources to where we can actually go bed at a normal hour and we like all go out to the bar. It's like I'm freaking ordering like a beer or like freaking like an LIT or something.
Nice.
And then freaking Bronson goes up there, I would like a mojito, please. And here's like John and I, like drinking beer and like whiskey, and then Bronson comes back with this freaking mojito. Shit would be fucking
little
flat.
martini glass.
I would just like to say I also enjoy rum and coke, if that's any better at all.
Oh, I do not like rum. I like Jack and Coke. I do not like rum and Coke.
That's fine.
Jack and Coke, and then throw some grenadine up in there. Ooh, it's amazing.
You met my friend Quinn at PAX. That dude enjoys Mountain Dew and Jaeger.
Oh, that just sounds gross. I like Red Bull and Jaeger.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, Jaeger bombs.
Yeah, Jaeger bombs are
I do not
amazing.
enjoy Red Bull, and I don't.
I like
enjoy
Red
Jaeger.
Bull and vodka too. Red Bull vodkas are amazing.
I like screwdrivers. Orange juice and vodka's great. Yeah. Man, the staff. So it's starting to sound like alcoholics.
Yeah.
Pretty much just like everyone
Honestly,
in the game industry.
I feel like a lot of our problems from E3, mainly exhaustion, being a big one, could be solved with a huge infusion of money. Which is basically, what I mean by huge infusion of money means enough money for me to replace this laptop with something that actually is blazingly fast. So I don't have to lug an entire desktop and work on the floor of Nick's apartment because he didn't have a desk.
Yeah, or just have, I think what would have made all of our lives easier is just have a dedicated video editor, just pay someone to edit videos for us while we're that made life so much easier. Like, could you imagine this? Like, if people who like work at big sites and stuff, or people who don't know anything, like they aren't involved in the industry, this is what you think happens. You think we go to the convention center and okay, we're done for the day, let's party and then go to sleep. Hell no, it doesn't work that way. It's like once you're at the convention center, you get depressed because you're like, shit, now I gotta go edit video for 6 hours afterwards. It's
basically, like depending on who you are. If you're Kyrie and I, you get to write. Or in the next event that we all go to, John. If you're Bremen, you get to draw. And if you're Nick and Anthony, you get to edit video and post.
Yeah.
So that, IGN, those guys get to party after. Those guys, they're probably done at like 9 at the latest. And then they're fucking, and then they're fucking just out on floor.
That's because IGN, they have like freaking 15, 20 dudes there. So we've got like 4 or 5 people doing the work of 20 people. I mean,
we're kind of dying every night doing it.
That just makes us look good, though. To be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does make us look really good. Also, makes us look extremely crazy.
It's like, hey guys, we finished with E3. What do? We don't go to a bar. We get in a car, sit in LA traffic, talking about some really dumb things. And then when we get back to the hotel, guess what, guys? Nah, we're not there to party at the hotel. Nah, we get in the car, we go get food, and then it's off to getting work done for the rest of the night.
Editorial has a little less work, so occasionally we break to go eat at a restaurant, but even then...
we get the whole, let's pick up a pizza from Little Caesars or stop by McDonald's real quick. Like, that's how we ate. But, yeah, I mean, ideal situation, we wouldn't have to do that. We leave the convention center, we go back to the freaking hotel room, party up, and play fucking Mario Kart and shit. Like, I wish it was that fucking fun, but one day.
Yeah, just one day.
It's so funny because this was the first time you guys met Jonathan, who is the social media guy at CA, who sets us up.
Bremen and I didn't get to talk to him much at all. But you guys got to actually we got to meet him.
Yeah, but it was funny because I think it was the beginning of the second day or whatever. You could just tell Anthony looked dead. Like, he was like, I mean, because that night, we didn't get to bed till like 3 o'clock in the morning. So we just looked completely freaking dead. And then Jonathan from CK looks at Anthony, he's like, are you all right? I was like, dude, you have no clue. We've been up till 3 o'clock in fucking morning.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, okay? I don't drink energy drinks or coffee. Okay, it's not like how we freaking begin Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday by stopping by Nick's apartment to pick him up and then driving straight to a 7-Eleven. So we can stock up on coffee and everything. Here I am just sitting there.
I was surviving off red lines. My health was a complete shit.
And here's the thing. I refuse to drink energy drinks, and I would only like drink like coffee once in a very long while. But basically, I would just like walk in and walk out with just some orange juice, and I'm like, yeah, guys, I'm not running on any caffeine.
Which was crazy to me, because like, here's the thing: I don't drink coffee, and even during E3, I was drinking mochas. I wasn't even up late. I was up till 1 most nights. Like, you guys were up till fucking like 3 or 4. I was up till 1 and sometimes 2. Granted, Bremen and I usually extended that by talking till 3 or 4, but hey, no, like that's insane to me, Anthony. Like, Anthony, I need to introduce you to the world of mochas. And it's coffee.
I do drink a mocha like once in a while. It's like that Starbucks stuff you can buy from Costco.
Yeah.
It's like that milk coffee blend, frappuccino mocha or something like that.
Yep.
Like I have those once in a while, but at E3 I was just running on natural sleep because I'm just like, you know what? Considering that I feel like shit already, I don't think
of natural sleep.
And here's the thing: is like I don't want to drink any energy drinks because my stomach is probably not used to it, and I could get pretty sick. Whereas with sleep deprivation, I've been through it before.
My stomach just felt like complete shit because those red lines are like, you're only supposed to drink like half the bottle, and you're not like, they taste absolutely just disgusting. So I was absolutely just chugging, and I was chugging the one a day. So my stomach was just completely like screwed up.
I think everyone's was, because we're eating those convention center hot dogs, and those were terrible. And we're eating fast food most of the time. So, like, I mean, outside of the meal at Outback, I believe...
Yeah, the meal at Outback was pretty much our farewells to, like, okay, guys, from now on it's going to be hell.
Yeah, like, the meal at Outback, and then I know that Kyrie, Bremen, and I hit Olive Garden at the very end. You know, like, at the, you know, before the last night of doing shit. And then it was pretty much like fast food, convention center hot dogs. Like that's, yeah. Like though next year we have. I think we can schedule things better to cut a little more, to give a little more time.
Yeah, and I'm hoping
to eat real food.
Next year, my plan is hopefully securing a sponsorship enough to where I can just pay someone to take care of all the video editing for us while we're covering the show. If anything, all we need to do is post shit right when we get back, which will only take like an hour or 2, and then we'll have some actually time to chill.
Yeah, and it only takes about 2 to 3 hours to get editorial done, depending on how much we see. It was like, this was Kyrie's first like big con too, so she was blindsided by the 1 a.m. shit. Because. Like, I remember that when we were working on our, press conference impressions articles, and, like, I'm trying to get all mine hammered out, it's relatively long, and, like, 12 a.m. strikes, and she is dead. She is barely typing that thing. Like, she's trying, but she's just tired. And that makes sense, because, like, if you are not prepared, like, these events will just kick your ass. In the worst way possible, too.
I mean, to be honest, even I was kind of caught off guard because I wasn't expecting to stay up until like 2:30 in the morning. Like, I knew I was going to be up late, but for me to do it that often was like, oh. And then, of course, and guess what? On the final day, while Nick gets to sleep in at home, guess what, Bronson? Guess what I have to do? I got to drive all the way back to Reno.
I was working. I was sleeping in.
I know, but it wasn't like you had to have like the mental exhaustion of driving for 9 hours first to drop off Kyrie at the airport, and then driving all the way back up to Reno. And we didn't get back to Reno until like 9 or 10 at night. So it was, but even though that's not late at night for most people, by the time Bronson and I got back home, we're now back up at high altitude. The air's thin, it's dry, we're dying. But we still have work to do, we gotta empty the cooler.
Yeah, I slept in the car, then emptied all our shit, unpacked my stuff, and then immediately... That entire weekend back from E3 was just sleeping for me. Like, just attached to, like, only left my bed to like, go to the bathroom or get food.
Yeah, that was when the Destiny Alpha was going on, too.
Oh, yeah, I played some of that, too.
Sleep and Destiny Alpha, that's all it was.
Yeah, basically. Oh, man, that was... Like, I know that drive was just a blur to me. Like, I remember waking up a couple times. I think we stopped at McDonald's. I'm not sure.
We did. We stopped at McDonald's as our last fuel stop before Reno.
Yeah, it was just all a big.
It was just outside of Roseville.
That's right. I think I had something to eat there.
I bought more nuggets.
Of course you did. After
that stuff tastes really good, even though I know it wrecks my health in a way.
Those are very bad for you.
I am on Team Chicken Nugget after finding out that one news story.
Look, those McNuggets taste really good, and if anything,
I
agree
with you. I agree.
They're really good.
They taste good.
They taste very good, but at least they're made of actual white chicken meat because they had to change because back in the day they found out that's actually chicken skin you were eating, so they had to change it.
That lovely paste of theirs.
I ate that stuff when I was in elementary school, so I'm like, oh man. I'm like, oh wow.
Hey, man,
you think we all munched down on some nuggets?
Yeah, John gave me shit for ordering them at Game Expo. I remember now.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Yeah. What you gotta get chicken nuggets, man? Chicken nuggets are great.
No, I told you after I made fun of you that I eat chicken nuggets.
Well, they're especially because they have that deal where you get fucking 20 for $5. Dear God.
Ooh, that's like, oh man, you need cheap food, you've got it.
Yeah, like that's. I mean, first off, 10 is enough. Like I think if I eat 20 chicken nuggets, I feel sick. Especially now.
I've eaten 20 of those nuggets before, and it just makes it's so gross. You just feel disgusting after.
Yeah, like that's we have a Chinese restaurant in town called Egg Roll King, and they give you hella food for super cheap, and it tastes pretty good, especially for the price, even though it's probably made of cat. And like
you shouldn't say that. Nick would be a little too thrilled.
No, I do not like cats at all. But that's disgusting.
Yeah. So, but every time I eat there, the meal is delicious, and then afterwards, I just feel like, oh god, I feel like the worst of humanity. Like I need a shower. Like it's just you feel gross, because it's like 90% grease. Which is most fast food.
Yeah, you're like the food's bad for you when you eat it, and you feel like you've got to shower after.
Yeah, exactly. Like Egg Roll King is fucking delicious. It's cheap. Yeah, you get a 3-item combo meal, and like it's one of those regular take-home size boxes, but it's just filled to the top. Like they fill it all the way, but it is fucking horrible for you.
It's so good though.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, it's delicious, but it's just like, I mean, you can taste the grease.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just like that was a place that is just, and they've been rated like one of the top places to eat in town because the fact that it's like, well, for $5, I mean, you can't beat this for $5, right? Yeah, man, like that's one of those places. Yeah. Oh, like Juicy's is a decent hamburger place. Like that's one place that's actually like I don't feel completely awful after eating there. I don't know. Are they John? What's your how do you feel about Steak and Shake after? That's another place where I was like, yeah, I actually ate here and didn't feel like shit. Oh my
goodness! It's like for $5 you can actually have a freaking triple patty steak burger with fries.
Oh, I know. Agreed.
My mind was blown because it's like, I hope this meat isn't gonna kill me if I keep eating this, because this actually tastes really good, and I can't believe how you guys can stay in business doing this. Because not even McDonald's can do this.
I just wish they would actually put one of those in town, not out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
I guess that's why it's so. I guess that's why it's so cheap is because when you're all the way out instead, property out there is really cheap. So
yeah.
I'll definitely be taking Evelyn there. She really wants to go there, and I mean, I started feeling like a little stomach thing going on when we were walking to Gay Pride, but
I think that was just because we ate a lot and we're
walking. That's what I was thinking.
Honestly, when you walk or run after eating, you start getting cramps.
Oh,
I remember that when I was little. When I eat and then I start running, people tell me don't run after you eat. You're gonna get cramps, and sure enough, I did. And they suck.
Wonderful idea me and my baseball team came up with, where the coach was I can't remember why he was, but he was gonna be late for practice, so we had an extra 30 minutes or whatever. So we all freaking go over to McDonald's and we're just chowing down
Terrible.
we're chowing down on Big Macs and milkshakes and all that stuff. And until we go to practice, coach is like, "All right, guys, time for conditioning." And we look at each other like, "Oh fuck!"
No,
it was terrible.
I've made that mistake too. That Egg Roll King place is right across the street from our high school. I fucking had that before had that for lunch. Had like a little bit left over, had it before practice, and then just all right, 110-yard sprints, all the Chinese vomits.
Yeah. Trust me, it doesn't get much worse than having to throw up freaking McDonald's burgers. That's pretty bad.
Greasy Chinese food's pretty bad as well. I know. We had a bunch of restaurants around though. We had this sandwich place. We had a couple pizza places. If you're willing to go for like not too far of a drive, there was a Taco Bell and a Jack in the Box. That place is pretty close to downtown. So if you have a car, you have all these options. And like outside of the sandwich places, if you eat any of them before practice, you are just gonna throw up everywhere. So.
Yeah, we all deeply, because we were like, okay, we'll settle in, we'll just start warming up, whatever. No, coach got there, first thing we're doing conditioning. I'm like, oh fuck, it was so bad.
Yeah, we'll do warm ups and then go through walkthroughs, right?
No. Yeah, I know, right? Nope, not this day.
No, that's actually one thing I did know though, is never eat like something like that on Mondays, because Monday first thing was always conditioning. First thing every time was, all right, get ready to run till you die. So, but like the other days, it was always random. So it was like just fucking if you were gonna eat that, you had to get lucky. Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, John. What about you? Galena's pretty good to some pretty decent places to eat, from what I remember. So do you have any practice vomit stories?
Not food related.
Oh, well, if we're talking about just vomiting from running, then yeah, I'm sure we all have plenty of those.
Yeah.
That's like...
That's what kept me disciplined in high school. I wanted to do so many things, but every time I freaking fucked with the teachers or fucked with someone, I was like, oh shit, I'm going to see my coach for baseball practice, and coach finds out what I did, he's going to pull out that trusty bucket of his. And whenever my coach brought up, whenever practice is over and he says, calls out your name so you're not done, and he brings out those freaking buckets, it's about to be a pretty bad time.
Yep.
Because those buckets are ready for your vomit.
Yep. For us, it was if you hear the words commitment, accountability, pride, cap. Fucking... you sprint 100 yards, backpedal 100 yards, bear crawl 100 yards. Over and over and over. Yeah, that was... No, I remember the one of the things that does stick out in my mind, though, is like the freshman coaches, instead of warning you about things, they just tell you after it happens, because they're trying to be hard asses because they're freshman coaches. So... I remember, I already knew this because I wasn't stupid, but some people would eat cereal for football training in the middle of summer.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. Anything
anything dairy.
How does 100 degree... I remember his quote to the people who threw up. How does 100-degree milk taste?
Oh,
oh man.
I always ate eggs or leftovers from dinner for breakfast. So it was cube steak, eggs, stuff like that. God, fucking, I always hated 2-a-days. Double days were the worst shit ever. Especially because we had two different types. We had the type where it was, okay, you have a morning practice at 5:30 in the morning, and that goes to 8:30, and then you have the 1:30 to 5, which was really shitty because you think you want that break, but no, you get all nice and relaxed, and you have to go out again.
Yeah, it's just I'd rather practice for 5 hours than have 2.5 hour practices.
Yeah, like
because then your muscles start like calming down and everything. You gotta get them back. Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, like the way I preferred it is when we would have like the 7 to 11, have an hour lunch, and then go 12 to like 2:30. That was way better.
Yeah.
So also I learned always bring extra socks, at least on our field, because our practice field for baseball and football, especially for football, was like always super soaked during the summer. Like it was basically the Everglades out there. It was fucking ridiculous. And I remember a water line broke, so just the entire freshman practice field is just a mud pit. Fucking horrible. All right.
Well, yeah. Let's move along. Any other? Those were the news stories I had. So.
I had one. Hey, you guys remember Twitch plays Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. It's continuing to X and Y. The Twitch
although I'm pretty sure it's died out pretty darn hard now.
Oh, it's not nearly as popular, but this is you guys are gonna dig this. This was really cool. What they did is they modded a DS, a 3DS, and made it so they could do the whole anarchy, democracy, all that other stuff, and it Twitch plays Pokemon. More of it. Except now it's with Pokemon X, Pokemon Y. And
who has times to do all this? Like all this.
I mean, the next thing they're gonna do is they're gonna make it even more terrifying because now they're gonna include Pokemon games that involve analog sticks like Coliseum instead of D-pads. So now you don't say up, you have to say northeast, northwest, and then it's just gonna screw up where the dude walks.
Also, for an update, they're on 6 days so far, have 7 badges, and their party is Hawlucha, Xerneas, Lapras, Charizard, Absol, and I can't tell what that last thing is. The screen's too blurry. But yeah, it still is horribly unproductive as ever, even with only 2,000 people watching it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that go in there and just fuck around too, doing the exact opposite of what you should be doing.
Yeah, this is still just like this was an amazing
I'm just
thought
amazed
experiment.
that they can actually get us. I'm actually surprised they've actually been able to get as far as they can with this.
I mean, like, they've completed every game except X and Y.
That's just nuts.
They've done red.
If you had told me this whole thing, and if you had told me they'd be able to get through half of the game, I'd be like, bullshit.
I mean, they did red, crystal, emerald, fire red, platinum, heart gold, black 2, and now Pokemon X. This is crazy to me. This is just fucking madness. I will say nothing is ever gonna beat that original run, but my god,
I mean, the original run was like an internet sensation, but like a lot of internet sensations, they can die really, really hard.
I enjoyed the second run. Like I kept up with it. I enjoyed all the memes and the Church of Helix choir. Praise Helix.
But that's just something you're gonna look back and say that is so 2014.
Oh, exactly.
As far as internet culture go,
it's like you look at 2012 and go like Gangnam Style.
That is so 2012.
Yeah.
Except it's like in real life everything just kind of runs in decades. Like you would say Cadillac Escalades, those are so the 2000s, or you would say stuff like that. But the internet just kind of works on a yearly basis.
Yeah, definitely. This is still astounding to me. And also I just remembered that I have a Helix pin lying somewhere in my room. Yeah, I don't know. John, did you get into the Twitch Plays Pokemon thing? Did you watch that shit at all, or?
I watched it, but I wasn't like really into it. I could not. I think I got a kick out of the stupidity of the human race.
I got a kick out of like all the fucking lore and religion that like they made a religion based around it.
Are you serious?
It's based around.
It's for fun. I don't think it's for real though.
Yeah, like it's It's so.
It's just a
dumb.
joke that people just jumped on board for.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna.
Nick,
Yeah.
it's about to prove my point on human stupidity, so just prepare yourself.
I mean, there's this thing called the Church of Helix Choir, and it's where they like made church songs to all the stuff that happened in these games. There were some pretty it was fun to watch the stream. Like there was a pretty cool moment where like a level 40 Venomoth beat fucking Lance's Dragonite because of a bug with the original Pokemon's AI. Because that game automatically defaults to the type that is weak, like a move set that is strong against whatever you're weak against. So it kept casting Light Screen and doing no damage. So Venomoth eventually killed it. It was like, what the fuck is going on?
I also remember they nearly released Bird Jesus.
Oh yeah, they nearly released
and nearly everybody had a heart attack.
Yeah. Oh, also remember Bloody Sunday? When they released like over half their team in the process of getting Zapdos.
Wow.
Fucking God, I loved it. It was great.
That was literally the experiment where you said, what was it, like if you have like how many monkeys you could type Hamlet?
If you have a fucking million monkeys on a million typewriters, you will eventually make Hamlet. And the monkeys fucking made Hamlet. You know? It happened. The monkeys fucking made Hamlet. It was great. No, like, I was impressed the first time, and I was like, okay, Silver's a significantly harder game. They're never going to finish that shit. And they did, and I was like, okay, well, I started to watch Ruby, and then I was done. But now that they're on X, I'm kind of interested again. It's almost like my interest with actual Pokemon. I cared about Red and Blue and Gold and Silver. I kind of gave a shit about Ruby, stopped, and then Pokemon X happened. So, anyway, should we get to questions, comments, concerns, etc.?
Yes, please.
All right, praise Helix. All right, so our one and only comment is a nice novel by Solid Kratos, 963, saying, so Comic-Con happened. What was your favorite announcement or reveal? My favorite is the 40-second sneak peek of Dawn of Justice with Dark Knight Returns Batman having a stare contest with Superman. And also, it got me hyped to see Man of Steel Dawn of Justice. What do you think of Gal Gadot, how do you pronounce her name? Gal Gadot, I imagine? That's what it sounds like. Hello?
No clue.
Okay, whatever. Wonder Woman. What's her face as Wonder Woman. I think the costume looks good. I don't, it's an origin story, so it definitely fits the origin costume. Have you guys seen the picture? It's on the page there.
We've actually debated this already.
Yeah, we debated when we were at it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it looks fine. That's me. What about for the people listening to us, though? They didn't hear our Steak and Shake debate. As much as I would love a camera crew to follow us around all the time.
That would be. We'd make a lot of money off that.
Yeah, see, my thing is, with Comic-Con, it's just... Comic-Con's fun to go to, but I'm not... here's the thing. I like video games, and yes, most people like video games, get into, the anime and comics. I'm not into any of that stuff. I like video games, and that's it. I don't go... As far as the nerd culture goes, I'm not really into... Like I said, I'm not into anime at all. I'm not into comics at all. I love video games, but that's about it. So, Comic-Con's cool, but that's not something that really interests me. Seeing, the movie... I'm the movies, yeah, seeing some of the actors there and stuff is really cool. I mean, but as far as the announcements, and this new comic series or this new that stuff doesn't really interest me at all. But yeah, it's actually going and seeing the actors and stuff. Plus, every time I go to Comic-Con, most of the time it's just to chill. I didn't go this year, but last year when it's you're not covering the event, you just chill. You actually get to enjoy the event, so it's pretty cool. But it's kind of funny. You guys know who Terry Crews is?
Yes, the Old Spice guy, and he was in a couple movies.
So I was in. Check this out. So, about an hour before I got on before we got on for our meeting, I was in the Apple Store in Glendale, right here at the Americana. So you guys were there. You know that Apple Store that's right by the Cheesecake Factory?
Yes.
Where I'm at, yeah. So I was
I
in
remember.
there.
Yeah, no, Kyrie and I walked past that. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
talking
So
about.
I was in the Apple store with my girlfriend or whatever, and we're in there, and all of a sudden I see freaking Terry Crews being escorted out of the Apple store by one of the Apple reps with like all this shit that he bought. I'm like, that's fucking Terry Crews. It was so freaking awesome. It's like I so badly wanted to go talk to him and get a picture, but he was leaving the store with merchandise, and I was like, I'm not gonna bother him.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like the best idea. Fucking, oh my god. Do you guys remember the Sarah Silverman show? Like that show she did? No?
No, I
Okay.
don't.
Okay, never mind then. We saw one of the actors from that when I was up in Seattle, just on the street. Dude was putting his kid in the car. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for that Batman versus Superman movie. What about you guys? Any opinion on it? Oh, what were you most excited about from Comic Con? Because I know we all heard news out of that.
Yeah, like I said, nothing really for me.
I basically caved myself in and didn't hear a single thing out of it.
I really enjoyed that Halo 2 HD reveal of like what the cinematics look like. Those look fucking amazing. John?
All right, well, yeah, there were a couple things that I noticed about Comic-Con that was really cool. I mean, anything Avengers related is always really cool.
Yeah.
They just came out with that badass poster of all the Avengers fighting all of those Ultrons. Like Scarlet Witch is in it, the Quicksilver is in it, the Vision is in the background, and then you've got, the core Avengers team. Not comics, of course, because Ant-Man is still not in it, but
Because everyone cares about Ant-Man.
I care about Ant-Man.
Good to
And
know.
I was excited for that announcement too. And then, The Walking Dead, the game season 3 was confirmed.
Oh God. I don't know how I'm gonna handle that because I'm 4 episodes into season 2 and like every time after season 1 I'm like, yeah, you can't get worse than that, and they do it, and then like I'm near the end of season 2 I'm like, okay, do you guys how do you finish this? Because I don't think it gets much worse than this. I know they're gonna do it somehow. Like, how are they gonna make season 3 more depressing? That's how I'm wondering this happens. So.
And then I think the last thing that piqued my interest was the fact that Rob Zombie is doing an Assassin's Creed Unity short movie. So that's kind of cool. But I mean, other than that, nothing really.
Yeah.
And I despise the Wonder Woman costume.
Okay. Great.
That's shit.
Super duper. All right. We already talked about the GameStop credit card.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, that's not really news to me because, like I said, like, you look at most store credit cards. The way a store credit card works is it's not like a normal credit card you get with the bank where you can get lower interest based off your credit score. Like those, like for example, I worked at Best Buy. There's times we offer 36 months no interest. So you made a purchase at Best Buy with a credit card. If you pay it off within 36 months, they don't charge you interest. But if you don't pay it off in 36 months, we're going to hit you with a 28% interest fee. And if you use that card anywhere else and you don't use it anywhere else, you're not going to get the no interest. So you're going to charge you 28% interest. Like, that's how those cards work. Because here's the thing, let's be realistic here. Best Buy doesn't make money by lending you thousands of dollars for 3 years. They don't make money doing that. They make money off people not making their payments. Because here's the thing with how these credit cards work, and hopefully everyone knows this, but maybe I can save someone thousands of dollars in the future by saying this. Let's say that you have a $5,000 purchase. 36 months no interest. But let's say that last month, like you could let's say miss your final payment by a day or two and only owe like 10 or 20 more dollars. Well, guess what? That 28% interest is not applied to that $10, $20 you still have to pay. It's applied to your whole $5,000 purchase. So all of a sudden, you're going to find out that your balance due goes from $10 to $20, goes all the way up to like $1,500, $2,000, and you're like, what the hell just happened? Well, they just got you with the interest on the entire purchase. That's how they make money. They don't just throw these 36 months no interest because they're trying to be nice. They do that because they hope you don't make your pay. They hope you don't pay off in time. So what I recommend is if you do 36 months no interest, rather than dividing your payments by 36 and cutting it that close, divide it by like 34. That way you have like 2 extra months of lead time or whatever. And the same thing applies when you're like buying a car or furniture or whatever. Like,
yeah, just have this experience.
Don't pay
just
the very minimum amount.
Just have this experience with the laptop. It's paid off next month. Yeah, you make sure you like. I have a year of no interest. Did not want to pay. Let's see, what's 20% of $1,500?
That would be $300.
Yeah, I do not want to pay $300 in interest. I'm good. I'm cool.
Yeah, but that's how it works. Like people understand. Like how do they make money? Like why do they do that? Well, because they get people with it. I had a friend who, like that Best Buy example was a real world situation. He went to Best Buy, spent $5,000, 3 years no interest, and I was talking to him recently. He's like, dude, he literally had like $150 left on his balance, and all of a sudden he got an email saying that his balance was then like $1,850, and he was like, what? That can't be right. Well, he missed that $150 he owed was supposed to be paid, and he found out like a week later, and guess what? They charged that obscene interest rate on the amount that he paid. That's how it works.
Here's another great idea.
Because here's what they'll do. Because here's the thing. They'll make it convenient for you, and you think they're doing that to be nice to you when they set up that automatic payment thing. But they're not going to set it up where it's your total amount divided by the months. They're going to set up what's called a minimum payment, which is what they'll accept as the minimum. But here's the thing. That minimum payment will not pay your balance off in the time they tell you it will. So a lot of people don't even check that and then find out later on that they have this balance that they didn't complete, and now they're going to get charged, and their balance is skyrocketed up because of the interest. That's how they make money.
To put this in perspective, Anthony, my laptop's minimum payment was $46. To pay this off before the interest hit me, I'm doing like 120 or 40 a month about. Oh.
Right. And see, that's the thing they'll do. They'll entice you. They're like, oh, you want this $3,000 laptop? Minimum payment, $40 a month. And you're like, holy shit, I could do that. It's only $40 a month. And you find out, well, guess what? That $40 a month is not what it's going to get you to pay it in time before they hit you with interest.
Yeah. So, there's this game that says payments as low as $9 a month.
Yeah, like right now.
Hold on,
I'll go to Alienware's website right now and tell you how much one of these fuckers costs.
Here's another thing too that will save you a lot of trouble, and this could be applied to anywhere in life. Check the fine print. Check the fine print.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if this stuff is legal, they clearly have to state it somewhere in the document, so they put it all in the fine print. So yeah.
So this is one of their 17-inch laptops for $1,400. It's an i5. Basically, I would get something along the lines that ends up being like $1,700, $1,800, but we'll do this for the sake of argument. $45 a month. That is not the real. If you want to get that shit paid off within the year it takes you, let's see. We'll go $1,400. Divided by 12.
Yeah, that would be like $120 a month, about 120, 130.
Yeah, $138 a month.
Yeah.
So that's.
So yeah, just keep that in mind. Like, I know this isn't gaming. Well, it could be gaming related if you're buying like a home theater setup, but just keep that in mind that literally like these companies make crazy amounts of money because customers make these purchases and they get to set it up the right way, or they just never look at it. They just know that they assume that the minimum payment is all that needs to be paid, and they end up getting screwed.
Yeah, and then like let's say you did do that laptop, for example. Like, okay, $45 a month, times 12, you pay off $500 you pay off $130 your debt, but then the interest makes that go almost all the way back up because it's 20%. So you've only paid off $200 of a bill, and your laptop just got, $400 more expensive. So yeah, this is why, kids. I have 3 credit cards, and one of them I got last year because I just desperately needed a suit to go job hunting. That is it. Otherwise I'd have 2. One is a regular credit card, and then one is the one I use to finance my laptop. So yeah. Okay, so moving forward with the credit card talk. So what are your thoughts on apparently Destiny being supposedly small because community manager David Dagg saying Old Russia would only be the only explorable location on Earth, along with 4 other planets and the moon? Do you think there should be more explorable locations? When the beta became public, I got my hands on it. It seems like Old Russia's big already. I feel like locations seem like they can be reached. It seemed like it can be reached but are closed off for the beta. I think it's fine if they expand. Besides, Bungie made a statement they have plenty of content for months to come. We kind of had the Destiny content talk last week. I think they'll be fine. Also, it's an MMO because it's kind of MMO, so there's gonna be plenty of grindy bullshit. I wouldn't worry about content.
Yeah, see, like I said, I'm trying not to worry, but I do have some kinds of concerns because it's like I know when Destiny comes out, I'll be playing the hell out of it. And the thing I like about Destiny is that this game's going to keep me entertained for a super long time. And it's just like Old Russia is the only part on Earth. There's only going to be 4 other planets in the moon. So you're telling me probably within a week, I could possibly see the entire game.
I mean, yeah, but you know that they were already hiding stuff in the beta. And like I said, there's going to be plenty of grindy bullshit in that game to keep you playing. That's how these games work. Anthony and I ran the same heroics in World of Warcraft 1 billion times. Why? Because we wanted new pants.
When you put it that way, yeah.
That's how these games work, Nick. No, trust me, if you like that game's gameplay enough, you'll want to keep upgrading your character once you hit level cap. The only way to do that is gear. How are you going to get gear? You're going to kill Republo 50, 100, however many times it takes to get those pants.
Yeah. I don't know, we'll see what happens when it comes out. I'm super excited for it, though.
Also, Anthony, if you don't get a PS4 and end up getting Destiny, you got a partner to play with, because as the beta literally destroyed any doubts of the game, I'll definitely play it on PS3. Also, they confirmed you will be able to port your characters from last gen to current gen.
Ooh,
good. I'm glad. See, I mentioned that on the last podcast. It's a smart move.
It is a smart move.
Yeah. Because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that they go and buy it on the PlayStation 3, and like I said, then they upgrade to the PlayStation 4. So, of course, they're going to be stupid for them not to.
So, Anthony should just cut out the middleman and buy a PS4.
Absolutely.
Wait, what now?
Yeah. Oh. Alright.
Cut out what middleman now?
You just need to buy a PS4. Let's not any of this Destiny on PS3 shit. Just get a fucking PS4.
Yeah, that's one reason is because I don't want to buy the same game twice.
Yeah, exactly. See, and man, once again, last year was a good decision. I am not steering you wrong. This is a pretty great decision.
Last year was a great decision because it was a good value, and I was going to get a Wii U eventually, and it was just like, oh, good. Wind Waker comes with it, and it doesn't cost. Look, if the Destiny bundle came out and it was $400,
let me ask you something. So I know you said this on this podcast. You said it before. So you're saying that if the PlayStation 4 if that Destiny bundle was $399, that you'd probably do it, right?
Yeah, I probably would have done it.
Okay, so what if the staff makes it $399 for you by us all contributing like $10? So that takes off the extra $50. Now it's $399. Now it's $399, Anthony.
Let's make this happen. Anthony, come on. Let's do this.
It's $399 now.
Not thinking about it. We can always talk about this later.
It's $399.
We can always talk about this later, okay? Please.
All right. I'm gonna start making this a point in our meetings to discuss this. Yeah.
So,
Does everybody have their $10 to PayPal?
The priority to talk about today is the status of Anthony's acquisition of a PlayStation 4.
If this was a board meeting where, like everyone just like sits in a meeting room, which we're not going to have anytime soon, but if I imagine so I could imagine Bronson or Nick more like, because I'm pretty sure Nick could pitch it a lot better. He would come up there with a PowerPoint presentation discussing, like TGA finances, future growth. Because companies love to talk about growth, right? And somewhere along those PowerPoint slides is about how it is projected at this point in time that Anthony will buy PlayStation 4, which should help increase TGA's revenue stream by about 10%.
Because then we can do PS4 video reviews. See, come on.
That's a good point, actually.
PS4 video reviews.
Revenue goes by 10% because Anthony's projected to buy a PlayStation 4 at this time and do a video review of Destiny, which should greatly improve TGA's growth and exposure to the public.
Also, I'm
you gotta use really fancy words when you give those PowerPoint presentations. You gotta impress the investors.
I'm throwing this one out there. You'd be able to live stream for our Extra Life run just straight from the system.
The live stream isn't as big of a deal as the video review, in my opinion.
Okay, hey man, they're both content for the site.
I know.
And now PS4 can archive those streams. So, all right,
great.
Moving forward. So I just finished Persona 4 Golden, and I'm going through my second playthrough, getting all the trophies and to fight the extra bosses and stuff. Love the game, and the sole reason to own a Vita, this game pays for itself with how much content there is, and how long it'll take you to pass. I don't remember the exact hours, but I clocked in at around 130 on hard to complete it. So yeah, I'm kind of drained from the game. And it shows that moment when you finish a game and just don't know what to do with your life anymore. Also, my friend was kind of an ass on spoiling who was the killer, but not do it intentionally. As I was listening to the soundtrack, he was like, I got the bad ending because I went with blank as the killer, and was like, what the fuck, man? I haven't beat the game and ruined the... I haven't beat the game, which kind of ruined the experience when you still are wondering who the killer is. I still enjoy the game as there's still plenty of more stuff than just the killer. My last question is, what is the worst spoil of a game ever, and who and what spoiled it for you, and did it stop you from playing all the game or hinder the experience at all?
I've never had a game super spoiled for me.
I had an anime spoiled for me. I remember when Death Note, the English dub, came to the States, and I was watching through Death Note, and my friend and I were talking about it, and they're like, oh yeah, when this happens at the end, I was like, motherfucker! I haven't seen it yet, you ass! As for a game, I'm trying to think if there's one that stands out in my mind. Let's see. Not really. I can't really think of one in my mind that stands out.
I had Madden spoiled for me. I had someone tell me that at the end of the game there's a winner and a loser.
Oh wow.
I know, I was so disappointed. I was like, why do I even want to play Madden anymore? Now I already know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, fuck.
Thanks for spoiling that for me, Nick.
It's like it's like spoiler alert, Madden NFL 15. At the end of every game, there will be a team that wins and a team that loses.
Okay.
At the end of every Zelda game, you have to beat Ganondorf. He dies.
Not true. Majora's Mask and Link's Awakening, you do not. Oh wait, no, Link's Awakening you do. I forgot. Fuck. But no, Majora's Mask you do not, and Skyward Sword you do not. I believe.
What about? I don't think.
Actually, in Skyward Sword you do, because at the end of Skyward Sword you just beat someone who eventually becomes the reincarnation of Ganondorf every single game, almost.
Okay, and I don't think Minish Cap you did either. But I know for a fact Majora's Mask.
Yeah, that's true.
Majora's Mask was great. The game was awesome. Hard, really hard though. The game was so difficult. Yeah, man. Oh god. Oh Jesus. I'm trying to think. Like, not many games have been spoiled for me because I'm being pretty proactive in getting them finished before people can say anything. Trying to think.
Yeah, actually, I've never had anything super. Nothing comes to mind, anyways.
Yeah, I don't think I really have one. I've been told certain things, but nothing really that was like super, spoilery. So.
Right. I've had people had me thinking they spoiled it for me to find out that they didn't and they were just bullshit, which also kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, that's always annoying.
I had someone tell me freaking, what was it? Oh yeah, one of my friends, I was talking about The Last of Us, and I beat The Last of Us kind of late. I didn't beat it until like a month after it came out because I was just so busy and doing stuff or whatever. And someone told me they're like, you're like, you haven't beaten the game yet? And I'm like, no, and they're like, but Ellie dies, and I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, and he was like, oh shit, and he like played it off, and I was so freaking mad. I was so mad, and then I finally beat the game, and I'm like, this motherfucker. This motherfucker did not just fucking do that shit. Like that's fucked up too, because then you piss them off, and the person may not even want to complete the game now, or they just stay pissed off. Like that's not cool.
Yeah, no, I will say Persona 4. When I figured out who the killer was, I was like, no fucking way. What? So yeah, I don't know. That also the killer in that game
No,
makes
Bronson.
me laugh.
No.
You have to finish it. So Anthony knows who it is, but you don't. So one of my favorite parts of that game, like if you want to get the best ending, you actually have to figure out who the killer is. Like it presents all the evidence in front of you, and is like, well.
Wait, what game are you talking about?
Persona 4. Like it's a murder mystery, and to figure out who the killer.
For a second I thought you were talking about Heavy Rain.
No, well that game.
Yeah, Heavy Rain. That game was. Oh man, I liked that game.
So did I. I thought it was way better than Beyond.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, Beyond was gorgeous, but yeah, as far as story, it was a lot better. I'm curious to see what Quantic Dream's working on with the PlayStation 4 now, because I want to see what how the PlayStation 4 can power the emotions.
The emotions. David Cage. He wants emotions.
I just hope he has someone help him write the story.
Dear God, yes.
Like he knows how to deliver emotions. But with the story,
he'd be a very good cinematographer, and even he'd even be a halfway decent director. But he is a shitty writer. He's a really bad writer.
Yeah.
Like that man, like he has some cool ideas, but like he needs to write his script and then give it to an editor, and then that person he is not allowed to touch it once it is given to that editor. Just no. None of that's for you. No dumbass jumping around or cliffhanger endings for you. No more of your stupidity.
Cliffhanger endings.
Was that not the dumbest, most annoying out of left field bullshit ever and beyond? My God.
Yeah.
No, but Persona 4, what it does at one point towards the end of the game, it's like, okay, the killer is blank. It just presents all the evidence to you, and then it gives you a list of every character in the game you've met. And you have 3 chances to figure out who the killer is, or the game gives you the shitty ending.
That's kind of sucky. I don't know if I like that.
Well, you can always put a save before doing it, though, so I mean, it's not that bad.
True.
But in my opinion, it was cool. I figured it out on the 3rd try. Because, I sat there and I thought about it. I was like, wait. No, that's not it. Okay, no. I was like, no. I was like, no fucking way. Anyway.
I'm gonna download that tonight and start playing it now.
Oh, yeah, it's a great game. I don't know, like, if you just want to experience the story, just crank the difficulty down and just breeze through it. I personally enjoy turn-based combat and, and, like, more strategic battles, but I realize it's not for everyone. Like, that's exactly why I think they added 2 extra difficulty modes. It's like, do you just give a shit about the story? Well, here you go. Yeah, which is fine. So, I'm going to refresh the page one more time to see if we get any more comments. I doubt we will. Yeah, no. Actually, Solid Kratos, you asked me about Vita games. fairly recently because you're almost done with Persona. Rogue Legacy is an amazing PC game that just got ported to Vita, PS4, and PS3, and it is cross-buy. So you should definitely check out Rogue Legacy.
They just announced the free PlayStation Plus games. Fez is going to be free too.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that news. Yeah, Fez.
And Dragon's Crown.
Which I already. All right, so I don't know. This month I'm kind of happy. And I'm kind of bummed because I want to
I'm
play
bummed
Metro.
out with the PlayStation 4 games.
Like, yeah, I really don't care about Road Not Taken, but Fez is cool. I'm down with Fez. Fez was a great game. In fact, it did place top 5 in our Game of the Year awards that year. Crisis 3 is I could not care less. I just fucking do not care about that game at all. And the fact that it is not the PC version makes it even worse. Proteus and Metrico on Vita both look cool. And Dragon's Crown, I believe I scored an 8 last year. I really liked it, but to get the most out of it, you really do have to play it co-op. That's just my opinion on it. I don't know. Anthony, you played Dragon's Crown for 60-minute access. Would you agree that game is definitely better co-op?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really looking forward to Rogue Legacy. Like, everyone's talking about that Vita remastered. I'm just like, no, Rogue Legacy for Vita. Anyway, do we have anything else we want to talk about?
I'm good.
I should probably... So, 60-minute access is going to be Last of Us Remastered, and if everything goes right and as planned, there's no power outages, no problems, no
What
stupidity.
is up with you Reno outages?
Well, we had some triple-digit days, and when everyone's running the AC, you tend to have power outages when the heat gets that high.
Gotcha. Okay.
We also have a bit of lightning around the area recently, so that kind of has something to do with it too.
So,
interesting.
So Okami will be done. It'll be done.
Finally.
We will probably finish at 92 to 93 episodes, but it will be goddamn done. So be excited for that. As for what we're going to fill that time slot with for recording, it means we can do 2 60-minute accesses in a week. It means we can start a new show. It means we can do a game cast. It means more diverse content for you and us not doing a Let's Play. If we can get our hands on a second capture card and a place for them to record, John and Bremen might be doing their own Let's Play. John, how does that make you feel?
Yay!
Yay! Do you have any idea what game you guys want to do?
No, I have no idea, but we'll figure it out pretty quick once we get the difficult stuff figured out.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I have an idea for a series. I'll talk to you guys about after the podcast and see what you guys think.
Okay.
It's a
right,
Let's Play, but it's kind of like a we'll talk about it off of here. But let me know what you guys thought. So I think John and Bremen would be pretty good at it. So we'll talk about it after we're done recording.
I had another show I want to talk to John about because I think he'd dig it.
Well, cool. Anything else before we wrap up the podcast?
We're on iTunes. We're on YouTube.
Yes. Please comment. We're back to our regular schedule with Unscripted Access. Next week will be episode 100. So please be sure you're there. And leave us comments and questions for episode 100. We definitely appreciate it.
Bye.
We're out.
See ya.